there's a show that has a larger cast, it makes sense why certain characters wouldn't get a lot of screen time. These characters sometimes don't leave an impact, and sometimes a character exists just to be a supporting character. In these cases, I think there can be more beneath the surface, and I thought it'd be interesting to analyze some Degrassi characters that often go overlooked, or characters that had more potential. I won't talk about every character under this category since I don't want to make this too long, but there were some characters that some of you brought up, and others that came to mind when thinking about this topic. Maybe you'll see these characters in a different light, or maybe it won't change your mind at all, but I thought it would be interesting to look at how these characters were introduced and characterized throughout their run on the show. I also want to figure out why it was that these characters were underutilized.
Some people think I'm kind of a loser, and until, what, like 10 seconds ago, weren't you one of them?
Well, I changed my mind. Lowered my standards. I like you.
Wrong answer, Holly J. Look, you had your shot with me, and you blew it. Toby Isaacs calls the shots.
Starting from the very first episode, we get introduced to Toby as JT's friend that he met at camp. We also see that he's more practical.
If you're meeting a stranger you met off the net, that could be really dangerous.
He can be sarcastic.
Maybe JT has a point.
JT? A point? It's a new one.
Terry's not really my type.
She's older, pretty, and breathing. Exactly your type.
That psycho is your ex?
Oh, so now it makes sense. This is about you, Mia. You're gonna get us all killed. Sorry, I just have this neurotic aversion to being murdered.
And have a fun sense of humor.
Just say please.
Please.
Now say, Toby Isaacs is the coolest kid at Degrassi.
Toby, I have to get something.
Get what? Your training bra.
Mom!
Toby is also very smart and knows a lot about computers. Toby tends to be the voice of reason, especially when JT is getting himself into trouble.
Oh, my clown wig. The possibilities. We're not animals, we're human beings, and this is disgusting.
It's a man cave.
It's a toxic dump. If you want us to stay friends, you'll clean this up.
But he can also get roped up into the nonsense as well. Toby's parents are divorced, and he's not exactly happy about his new family situation, since he doesn't even want to acknowledge Ashley as his stepsister.
She's not my stepsister. We just happen to be stuck in a forced living arrangement. Ashley hates that I live in her house, and she hates that I go to her school.
He gets so angry with her that he asks JT to run for school president, just so he can take something away from her that's important, not really understanding Ashley's side of things.
My mom dotes on you. She doesn't care what I feel as long as you're happy. You're everywhere, even in my campaign.
That's not true.
I wanted just one thing that you couldn't take away from me, but you found a way.
He even goes as far as to threaten to reveal that Ashley bribed JT to drop out of the election.
Before you go up there and publicly humiliate me, just listen to my speech. Please.
Congratulations. You deserve to win.
We have to live with each other. Does it have to suck this much?
Maybe not.
For the first time in a month, I don't want to rip your eyes out.
Dr. Freed would be so proud.
With the episode Parents' Day, you start to understand why Toby is more mature at times.
The way it works now is perfect. Every other weekend with my mom, the rest of the time with my dad. And as long as they don't have to talk to each other, everything's fine.
His parents fight all the time, and still after getting divorced, Toby often has to play mediator for his parents.
Didn't even tell me. You know, that is so typical of your mother. She just wants...
See? You guys can't be in the same room without freaking out. I want you to go, and I want her to go. I just don't want the two of you to go there together.
He even tries to come up with a plan to make sure his parents don't have to run into each other. First, he decides to write a fake letter, hoping that his father won't catch on, even though his father tells him things will be fine.
No fights. Promise.
He can't help but make comments about his ex-wife.
Hey, Tiger.
Emery? Flat tire?
I told Toby that I might be held up at work. Parents' Day isn't over already, is it?
No. You better get moving, though.
During their meeting with Mr. Simpson, they can't help but start fighting in front of him.
I thought moving in with you and June Cleaver was supposed to be good for Toby's grades. But saying maybe we need to reassess Toby's living arrangements.
Don't threaten me.
That's your game.
And breaking commitments is yours?
Blaming each other for Toby's poor grades.
3 days late? Jeff? I'm talking to you. This is Parents' Day. You're the parent.
We're both the parents here.
Why aren't you helping Toby get his work in on time? Why is he underachieving?
And he's the one that has to yell some sense into them.
Mom, Dad! Yeah, my assignment was late. Who's to blame? Video games. I'm telling you, they're destroying my generation. It's my life, right? So it's my problem. Stop blaming each other and then using me as another excuse to argue, because it's not fair. I'll try harder.
The child is acting more mature than the adults in this situation. From this interaction, I can imagine that things were probably like this when they were married. This undoubtedly caused anxiety for him from a young age. This also shows us why he's often the voice of reason when it comes to his friendship with JT. Toby even feels the need to apologize to Mr. Simpson later for his parents' behavior.
I just want to apologize again for my parents' behavior.
It wasn't your fault. Are they always like that?
Only when they're together. Yesterday was good. It cleared a lot of air.
Your parents should be proud of you. I certainly was.
It proves my point even further how much Toby has had to grow up and mature faster than other kids around him. Look at how JT acts and look at how Toby acts. Although Toby might get dragged into things at times, he's often a child that has a lot more self-awareness. Because he was exposed to his parents fighting so much, he's become more aware of the world and more suspicious and skeptical because of this. In a way, this isn't a bad thing because we should teach kids to be skeptical of things, especially if something doesn't feel right. Kids should know when to be curious and question, but because of his environment at times, this might not have always been a circumstance in which he just learned to be more self-aware. He was exposed to behaviors that he understood weren't what was typical of how parents should behave. He understands that he slacked off, and that was because of his own decisions and not because of either of his parents. He's able to maturely get his parents to see a different side of the situation. Unfortunately, we don't really see what comes of his relationship with his mother, and if things do get better, I guess it's assumed that they do.
Your message came in loud and clear back there. Toby, I'm really sorry. All this stuff between your dad and me, it's tough. I love you so much.
When Toby wants to change his perceived image,
Toby Isaacs and his computer programming team. Thanks to them, Degrassi placed third in the regionals.
Nice work,
The
Toby.
chess club is also on winning streak. In his second, Sean Cameron has been named this month's overall sports MVP by the students.
That's fantastic, Sean.
Nice to be him.
he decides to try out for the wrestling team. He secretly starts taking laxatives and making himself throw up as a result of this.
Not hungry.
That's what you said yesterday, and the day before that.
Thank you, Mom.
So you're not having breakfast?
No. Now go back to sipping your blood and leave me alone.
We're able to see an insecurity in Toby that up until this point we didn't really get to see.
There's a gym full of people out there waiting for me. And I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win. Not third place in some geek contest.
Someone that is insecure with their masculinity, especially already being perceived as a nerdy kid, and with that also comes a sort of anti-masculine image attached to it.
But no one notices me.
You're the lovable, if slightly invisible, computer expert.
That's it?
Yeah.
Obviously, every human has insecurities, especially when you're a child, but I always thought this was interesting because of the aspect of exploring masculinity.
Okay, now Kendra, stand here. Act like you're an enemy. Grab my arm if you want.
I think I'll pass. Big meet today. We'll be there to cheer you on.
My own personal fan club. Catch ya later.
We don't normally focus on how men see their bodies. Even if most of the time he comes off as level-headed, we also see that he's very aware and conscious of how people see him, and because of this, he wants to try and stand out. He also wants to prove something to himself, that he can fit that image of masculinity. Like I said, we don't really usually focus on eating disorders when it comes to men and boys, even though they are also affected by their environment and what they've been conditioned to believe is what a man should look like. We see him trying to escape this image that's been assigned to him by changing who he is and risking his health for it.
Word got out, people freaked. Even Sean asked if you were okay. The whole school's worried. I had a nice little chat with Kendra. She's like, oh, I hope he's okay, I'm so worried. You still think you're invisible, Topes?
It would have been interesting to get the occasional checkup on Toby and his struggle with this, especially later on when Emma also struggles with an eating disorder, but I'm also aware that Degrassi wanted to make this a singular episode thing. Toby also cares about popularity.
Hey, Jimmer, it's really good.
Nothing. Don't call me that. You into what, T?
Yeah, so it hurts.
Jimmy used to be my friend. That was before your hot step sizzle dumped his ass sizzle.
And he tries desperately to impress Jimmy.
Yo, dog, sup? Got more tickets for that concert? I love DJ Crazy Guns.
You mean DJ Mad Bullets?
What if a certain homie knew of a hole in the school's firewall? That's the computer system with your grades in it?
Then I'd buy him a Mad Bullets concert ticket, give him a shotgun seat.
Peace.
Okay.
He goes so far as to change his grade, but things go wrong and they both end up in trouble.
Do you know what Saturday is?
DJ Bad Bullets?
You're such a fake, man. You're a fake computer hacker, you're a fake rap fan. You're just 100% fake.
Occasionally, Toby will be used as the creepy nerd character when it comes to his relationship with Kendra.
It processes data and any instructions you give to it, either directly or through.
What is he doing? I think
do your work on the machine.
and kind of obsessed.
50 megahertz. Tell your boyfriend that class time is my time, not his.
Or when his behavior might be used for comedic relief. For example, Terry thinks that Toby has a crush on her and gets creeped out by his behavior.
Do you know what I'm thinking?
No.
Oh, I think you do.
Toby, stop being weird.
Until next we meet.
Only for it to be revealed that he was testing her for an assignment.
Ash told me you were psychic or something, but I've been testing you, and you failed. Nice.
You're not my secret admirer.
You wish.
Mostly it's just for comedy and pretty harmless.
When we all go out, get loaded, get into some trouble.
I can do up some fake IDs. Take you ladies on a pub crawl.
Nice try.
You know what rocks, JT? Making out. The chick.
Well, at least someone's having a good time.
Oh, am I ever? Dude, I can't feel my lips.
We've also seen this trope before, which is why it doesn't really bother me too much, but I can also see the arguments people have made in the past for depicting characters with this almost likable misogyny. I personally don't think that's the case here with Toby, but I can see where that point could be made. In season 3, we also see a rift in Toby and JT's friendship.
Hey, JT, over here.
Yeah, he really forgot.
Hope he hasn't forgotten he's staying over at my place tonight.
Check me for.
And because of this, we see Toby humiliate JT with Paige and her friends. He ends up exposing JT in front of them, and I'm not gonna lie, he kind of deserved it.
The nocturnal emission, better known as the wet dream. You know who else has had them? JT York.
I'm still lost.
So is JT this morning, in dreams of liberty.
This is such juicy gossip. Oh, pardon the pun.
I understand that JT was trying to be more popular, but I think this was a turning point in their friendship that made me look at JT's character differently.
You treated me like crap for no reason. Stood me up for lunch. You act like I'm some big loser. What did I do to you?
They're my friends. You're my friend. You and them.
Never gonna happen.
I hated that it seemed like he wanted nothing to do with Toby at times. I'm not saying this made me hate JT completely, but the close, almost brotherly relationship that they had in the first 2 seasons, they never really feel that close again in my opinion.
How's Big Yellow Loser?
That's really nice, JT.
I hope he just gets the hint and leaves, and you'll have to find a new gamer geek friend.
And maybe it's because both of them were growing up, so it only makes sense that they'd naturally drift apart. But it's an observation that you notice a little, especially in seasons 3 and 4. Toby becomes friends with Rick when he comes back to Degrassi. It makes sense why he would befriend Rick. They're both smarter than their peers to the point where they feel like outsiders. Both of them strike out with girls. It would be a nice friendship if you didn't remember what Rick did to Terry.
Ow! Ooh!
Aw, Toby, what's wrong?
Oh, I banged my arm. It hurts.
Aw, poor baby. Is there anything that I can do to help?
For most people, his behavior is unforgivable, but Toby is the only one willing to befriend Rick after that, and you see how he genuinely cares for Rick.
Raditch is going supernova. He's gonna find out who did it.
What, from detention?
Just saying. Sure, it'd be cool if you skipped the rest of the day.
Standing up for him.
Which is now officially my new favorite mental image.
I didn't think it was so funny if it happened to you.
And speaking of hysterical images...
We should go talk to him. Rick.
Paying Darcy to kiss him during their competition.
This friend of yours, he's really losing that bad.
I was gonna cry.
He's the one they keep pushing into lockers. Why does everyone around here hate him so much?
So will $5 change your mind?
Yeah?
This isn't something that's acknowledged as much, but Toby watched his friend die in front of him.
You already shot someone.
He was after or why he did it?
I don't know.
Did you try and stop him?
What was I supposed to do?
Did the gunman say anything before he died?
Died?
Even though Rick was the shooter, this was someone he still considered a friend, and someone he was still getting to know. We also see later when Rick is acknowledged as Toby's friend, he's quick to deny this fact.
Why do you think he did this?
I'm supposed to know? He's a total psycho.
What did your friend do when someone would...
Look, he's not my friend. He's a psycho. He's not my friend.
I always thought this was an interesting detail. After knowing what he did, it makes sense that he would want to distance himself from the relationship that he had with Rick. He doesn't want to have to bear the guilt of what Rick did, as well as not really wanting to deal with the fact that he lost a friend. He was also socially aware that everyone hated Rick. He saw him get bullied.
None of us took Rick's bullying seriously enough. It would be an understatement to say that he was unpopular.
Unpopular?
How about Certified Freak? The guy made us the lead story on the 6 o'clock news. Who was this guy who shot him if not some psycho? He was Toby's friend.
He might also anticipate that he'd get some of the blame for what happened. Even though we see them on friendly terms throughout season 3 and 4, like I said, there is a distance that's felt between Toby and JT. After the shooting, Toby approaches JT and he disses him in front of Danny.
I just got Draco's Quest 2 if you guys ever want to play.
I'm trying to cut down.
I was there, JT.
So what do you want me to say? I'm sorry that you became friends with a psycho. You knew what Rick was like.
I didn't know he was gonna bring a gun to school.
Really?
It takes Manny convincing JT to actually support Toby.
People don't even know Jimmy care about him. My own friends won't talk to me.
What about JT?
What about him?
Toby's a geek. He always has been. Toby was always there for you. If you hadn't ditched him for Webster here, he would have never hooked up with Rick.
And you're lecturing me on ditching people.
Now I remember why we broke up. You just can't be the bigger man.
It really annoyed me the way JT treated Toby, like he didn't even consider what he was going through at all.
You were always such a good friend.
Mrs. Murray, I just wanted to say I'm very sorry for what happened. It was a tragedy. It doesn't matter what I thought of Rick. It still shouldn't have happened.
And some might argue that JT was mad that Toby was friends with Rick in the first place, but what did he expect to happen? He's been distancing himself from Toby for a while. Even though he does show up for Toby in the end, I just couldn't really see their friendship the same way. I honestly think that Toby was a better friend to JT than the other way around, and we see this when he encourages JT not to fight with the Lakehurst students and just wants to keep the peace.
You know, look at the bright side. Maybe it's over. Maybe beating someone up is all they ever wanted. Violence for violence only leads to the deepening of the darkness in the deepest dark. Wait, that didn't come out right. Promise me you'll let this go. Promise me, JT.
Okay, promise.
Even after Toby gets attacked by them, he's really forgiving of JT. Toby is the one that gives JT advice about Liberty and Mia.
Is this a Mia ball sub? It's very tasty, but you get tired of it. Oatmeal. It's always been there for you. You can depend on it.
I miss her, Tobes. It's so stupid.
No, look, it's not stupid. You can't fight how you feel. Go out there and find her.
Season 7 shows his lingering grief over JT's death, and this is triggered when the Lakehurst students, including Johnny DeMarco, one of the guys that was there when JT was stabbed, is also attending Degrassi after a fire burned down the school. He confronts Johnny, who wants a truce, but understandably Toby isn't ready to just forgive.
Wait, you're the guy we rolled last semester. Oh, man, I'm over that, all right? How about a peace treaty?
Unless you say you're sorry.
Sorry, I called you a did-you-wiener and kicked your ass.
You stood there while your friend stabbed my friend to death.
He gets so angry that he goes online and talks about Johnny and how much he hates Lakehurst.
Lakers cast-offs like Johnny DeMarco think that I'm gonna personally welcome them to Degrassi? Wake up. It ain't gonna happen. Anyone has a problem with that. Remember, nobody messes with Toby Isaacs.
He's convinced by Liberty to be the bigger person and to get along with Johnny, who heard his podcast and now isn't really willing to make nice with him anymore. But we still see Toby go to JT's grave, and I have to say that this scene gets me emotional a little bit. He also decides to go back online, reflecting on his anger at Lakehurst.
I miss you, JT. I know that violence just multiplies violence, and it sucks that Lakers people are in our halls and you're not. It's not fair. Maybe with so many new people at Degrassi, maybe there's someone like you. As they say, strangers are just friends you haven't met yet.
This was the last plot line that really showed a different side to Toby, someone that holds a lot of anger for what happened, even though he was the one that wanted JT to make peace. Imagine having to see a guy that watched your friend get stabbed to death walk the halls of your school. I probably wouldn't be able to handle it as well as Toby did. We also see how Toby validates Holly J when she's feeling insecure.
Why is something that's so hard for me so easy for everyone else?
Hey, story of my life. When Heather was here, she was smart and popular and cute.
Yeah, well, now you're here. You're filling her shoes.
He understands what it's like to feel invisible. It's possible that he felt that he was in JT's shadow at times, so he's able to understand how she feels. I think Toby is overlooked a lot on the show as being a nerd or the comedic relief at points, someone that we don't really need to focus on, but we do see these moments of depth that just made me more curious. For example, Toby has lost 2 friends in very horrific circumstances, and that's a lot to deal with being so young. I'd probably be scared to open up to anyone again, but we see that despite that, he does rise above his anger, and I do respect that. It's unfortunate that Toby's character didn't get more focus, but as we can see, there's still enough there to talk about.
My name is Hazel Aden, and I was born in Mogadishu, Somalia. I'm a Muslim.
From the very beginning, Hazel was introduced to be a supporting character. There was never an intent to explore her as much as the other characters. That became evident to me as I got older and saw that she was one of the only dark-skinned black characters throughout the show's entire run. You can't deny that the show has a larger amount of light-skinned black characters. Most of the time, I don't think this is done maliciously. The media we consume is often viewed with a Eurocentric mindset. That is, whiteness is the standard. This also doesn't excuse anyone either, but it does expose the bias at play here. There are a lot of reasons for this, such as colorism, prejudice, unconscious bias, and even a level of intentionality. Her role initially was to be one of Paige's friends that does whatever she says without much pushback. Hazel had so much potential to be an individual character with depth.
Jimmy, he was shot. He's on his way to the hospital.
No, I need to go. I need to go.
The lockdown will be over soon, okay? We'll get you there.
But as the show went on, she stayed as Paige's slightly annoying friend, there to cause issues at times, petty.
Sorry, Alex. You actually have to participate to get in the yearbook. As if we were gonna bring her. Our limo's a skank-free zone.
Did you just skankify my friend?
More like pet project.
Jealous much?
I just don't get why you hang out with her.
She means nothing.
and we don't know much about her.
My mom came here first with me to flee a civil war. My dad, who was fighting in the war, came later.
With that being said, that doesn't mean that there isn't anything about Hazel, and I think Hazel deserves a well-thought analysis. She's a caring person, even though she can be judgmental at times. She keeps herself surrounded with people that are equally popular to her because she prioritizes appearance and status.
She's too embarrassed to have anyone know that she macked a total geek.
I don't make the rules.
Just follow them.
And this might be a way that she protects herself. We learn in season 2 that Hazel was bullied for being a Muslim. She's also more observant and cautious than she might seem, catching on to Terry's abuse before anyone else.
Things sound pretty amazing with you and Rick. No problems at all? Nope. You never fight. Sometimes. Only when I hurt his feelings. What's that on your lip? What's this? It's nothing, just... I mean, if he's hurting you, you tell me, right? I can't believe this. I'm just concerned.
And usually looking out for Paige.
The Hazel head shake. You let him treat you like garbage, he'll keep doing it.
Paige dumped me and then did it with him.
And what if it wasn't like that? What if she said no? What Dean did was illegal. You know that, right? You said no. Paige, you have to tell someone.
She's also confident about herself despite her insecurities.
We can't just fill the yearbook with pictures of you two, you know. We gotta represent the whole school.
Paige and I were the school.
Yeah, there's a convincing argument.
One of the best episodes of the show, in my opinion, is Take On Me. It's a Breakfast Club themed episode focusing on 5 characters: Ellie, Sean, Toby, Jimmy, and Hazel. This allows us to see how these 5 characters interact with each other under involuntary circumstances. Each character fits a role of the movie, Hazel being the princess type character. Initially, she's so afraid of anyone knowing why she's in detention that she'd rather accept a dare to kiss Toby.
I dare you to kiss Toby.
Jimmy?
On the lips, like you mean it.
This easily could have been Paige, but I like that it's Hazel here. Since this episode focuses on these characters in detention, we're also sitting and wondering why Hazel was in detention to begin with, knowing that she's a character that doesn't really get herself into trouble. She's often in Paige's shadow, unfortunately. We get to see a different side of her that shows a more fun side. Hazel and Jimmy also start dating in this episode, and that might be why Hazel is in this episode to begin with, if I'm being completely honest. But I'm hoping that the intention was to give Hazel more of a role. There is the rare moment where we see Hazel stand up for herself.
More than your armpits will hurt if you don't shut your pie hole. I wanted this to be special for him, and all you can do is whine. Meg stepped up and ran the spirit squad for you when you were too self-involved. All she wanted was a thank you. But could you give her that? Oh no! She was horrible to me. But can you tell me why you have to be more horrible back? Why you always have to be more horrible?
And she can be a fun person once she puts her judgmental wall down.
I shouldn't have dived over the counter for that whipped cream canister.
Those German tourists hadn't gotten in the way.
Hazel also seems to be the type that's more comfortable following the rules. Anything to avoid conflict, since she doesn't want to draw any negative attention to herself.
You don't even have the balls to tell us why you're here. Paige, pull your puppet strings.
Paige can't make me do anything. I got caught surfing porn. Got some spam in my email, and I was curious.
We see a smile on her as everyone laughs. She finally sees that she can let her guard down a little because she realizes she's not being judged but rather laughing with people about something dumb she did. I also love this reaction she has after kissing Jimmy.
What was that for?
For making you kiss Toby, I guess.
I kissed Toby. Oh my god.
She's able to laugh at herself without fear of judgment. We get a few episodes that give us some deeper insight on Hazel, but she's definitely done the worst of the entire cast. For most of her run on the show, we barely learn anything about her. The black or brown character that exists is there to emotionally uplift the white character. They serve their role as a sidekick in a white-led show, which is very unfortunate when you see how little focus Hazel gets, even though she's credited as a main character for 3 full seasons. I've talked about Degrassi and race before, but there's no way that I can ignore this aspect because it impacts so much of why Hazel's character lacks depth. I'm going to try not to repeat too much of what I said in my previous video, but there are some aspects of this that I do need to touch on. I've already talked about the black best friend trope. Hazel falls into this category because a white character is often the default, meaning these characters are usually a majority of the cast. A black character is often surrounded by white characters, not existing outside of those white characters, and really are only used to build on the other existing characters' narratives. We see how pervasive systemic racism is even in modern society, where black people play the role of servant in the white person's narrative. Even when it seems as though there is diversity, white supremacy still exists. They often serve as plot devices for white characters. Non-white characters are often created for a specific purpose, usually usually also written or created by a white person that doesn't understand the experience of a non-white person. This might lead to projecting stereotypes on black or brown characters. Black characters can also be used in the narrative to expose racism in some way, whether that be through comedy or drama. A lot of the time, these characters also exist to make some social commentary on racism and prejudice. This isn't a bad thing inherently, but this can also be a problem if the character isn't explored outside of that aspect. A lot of the time, black and brown characters exist to create the illusion of diversity, even though the show still primarily focuses on white characters. We learn that Hazel is afraid to be judged, and this is revealed in the episode Don't Believe the Hype. This is the one singular episode Hazel gets as a main role, and there's a lot here that explores her character in a different way than how we've seen her. I think this is a very well written episode, and yes, it does fall into the category of using a black character to make social commentary, but this also gives us some insight into Hazel's character. Unfortunately, this is the most emotional depth that she gets, but just because there isn't a lot doesn't mean it's not there. In the beginning of the episode, Hazel stops a girl named Fariza for wearing a hijab and says,
But you guys want a real fashion crime? Do you think there may be bald under there?
Do you think maybe you're just a bit ignorant?
You're under arrest. Crime, terrorist chic.
Very funny, Hazel.
even Paige was shocked by what she did.
When I'm offended, you know you've really gone too far. Just like that, what do you expect? Right?
Hazel is afraid of people coming over to her house because of her culture.
As in me coming over to your place, finally.
Sure. Bernowski.
Maybe.
We also see that Hazel is against International Day at school.
And what if we do nothing?
That would have been into this, Hazel, but if not, class participation is 10% of your mark.
Okay, I don't know why you are so against International Day. Because we're people. Why do we need labels?
She's ashamed of where she comes from because she lives in a country that demonizes her culture. This is also post 9/11. Canada, like America, is a settler colony where a lot of people have been conditioned to think white supremacy is the norm. We see this with non-white people and how they also respond to white supremacy. Some conform to it because there is a fear of being otherized. So Hazel appropriates Jamaican culture because she understands that it is more culturally accepted. Although she clearly feels guilty for doing this, she's afraid of the judgment she'll receive if the truth comes out. She's surrounded by mostly white kids, so of course she would respond this way. Assimilation is used as a way to cope, living surrounded by people that aren't like you or understand your struggles. I'm not saying this is the right approach because honestly it will probably bring a lot more identity and emotional issues later. What comes with assimilation is usually an erasure mindset, meaning you train yourself to ignore those parts of your culture that you shouldn't feel ashamed of. This is one form of how white supremacy takes place. Fariza embraces her culture and religion, even though she faces microaggressions, direct prejudice and racism, and hate crimes. When she analyzes Hazel's last name not sounding natively Jamaican, or the fact that she looks Somali, we see how defensive Hazel gets because she feels afraid that that part of herself will be revealed, but she's also angry that Fariza has seen through her.
Aden, not really a common name. Maybe in Somalia.
And what's your last name? Oh, right. I don't care.
Funny thing is, sort of looks Somalian too.
Well, why don't you mind your own business, Fariza, before Jamaica declares war on Iraq?
And I think there's also a bit of jealousy that Fariza can openly express herself and has the courage to do so. We find out why Hazel is so afraid to reveal herself.
I know how hard it is to be Muslim. At my last school, something happened to me. I got cornered by these girls. One of them held me, the other hit me, called me a terrorist.
And you sure learned from them.
This is the only time we see Hazel in such an emotionally vulnerable place. The entire storyline is about Hazel confronting her own internalized issues with culture and race. She's also able to talk about it in front of everyone in class, allowing herself to face the shame that she's felt, and also get some closure.
Fariza wears that headscarf. How come you don't? It's a hijab. I do when I go to mosque. To take it on full time, personal and important decision. I was ashamed of who I am, but not anymore.
If Hazel isn't defaulted to being Paige's friend, she's defaulted to being Jimmy's girlfriend.
Tell me to get back to how I was before I got shot.
You are back.
I'm not.
You're wrong. You haven't changed. Because when I look in your eyes, I still see you.
It's complicated.
Then explain it to me.
I don't know if I can.
Just try.
After they break up, she doesn't even have that.
You've got to be kidding me.
I love you. But Ellie, she inspires me. You wanted honesty. I'm being honest.
You're being a coward, and if you won't say it, then I will. So here it is, Jimmy. We're through.
Even though she's a graduating character, we really don't get anything from her. We never see her parents outside of a photo. We have no idea what she wants to do after high school. There's one plot line where she doesn't get along with Alex, showing them acting immature.
Can you even afford those clothes? Fashion isn't exactly what Alex's type does well. You and a blazer. Spare me. Paige used to be straight until you came along and turned her gay.
Sorry, I'm through with playing nice.
Couldn't pull off the very lawn, huh? Big surprise.
I thought this was another plot line that showed me how much more we could have gotten from Hazel, seeing her get along with Alex after insulting her multiple times.
Paige isn't talking to me. I happen to be upset about it.
So do I. I do have feelings now.
And when Paige gets upset?
Tell me about it. She's the stubbornest person I ever knew.
Oh, me too. And if you really want to know how bad a freeze I can get, phone Ashley Kerr went out.
You could try playing nice, period.
Promise not to scold me?
Just as long as you promise to leave your sign at home.
Shows that there was potential to see major growth. Although the show is progressive, Degrassi also participates in prioritizing white voices. And even though I love the show, I am very well aware of how Eurocentric it is. And this can lead to a lack of nuance. We see how there's more focus on lighter-skinned black students than not. The colorism in Degrassi is not beyond me. As we can see, Hazel did have the potential to be explored, and I still think she deserves to be acknowledged.
That's my seat.
Welcome back, everybody.
Sir, she's...
Jenna Middleton.
Hi.
Welcome to Degrassi.
I think Jenna matures a lot as a character, and her development isn't even directly focused on. We just see the development of her character throughout the show, even when focusing on other character storylines. To start off, we learn Jenna is a musician. She knows how to play the guitar, write her own music. She was a lead in the school musical. We also know that Jenna was introduced just to be the new girl that stirs up conflict. From the very beginning, she even admits that she's interested in Casey.
In my old school, I was such a boyfriend stealer. Especially with bad boy types, they're totally my weakness.
I'm with Casey.
Aw, he is so cute. But don't worry, Claire Bear. I won't even look at him.
I'm not sure if the writers had any intention of doing anything more with Jenna at this point, but if they said no, I definitely believe it. At first, it's hard to tell if Jenna is intentionally pretending to be nice and bubbly, or if this is just her personality.
So, Miss Pretty Smile and Perfect Teeth, what's your deal? You think I'm pretty? Thanks, Allie, but I'm not half as pretty as you.
Being at a new school, I wouldn't be surprised if this was an act to an extent. Based on her reaction here, it seems like she might not have had as many close friends before.
I'm so glad all the girls here don't hate each other. My old school was backstab high. So tonight, more lessons or science assignment?
Allie and I usually do a TV/homework.
Friendship priorities. Cool.
She knows how to use her innocent, sweet girl persona to her advantage. We see this when she helps Dave out after pretending that he broke up with her. She technically doesn't have to help Dave, but you see how she feels bad that she lied to him.
Man, the guys think I'm cool and now the girls think I'm dateable all because I'm with you.
Would you be less mad at me if I helped you keep your rep?
She's cute. Nice.
Dave said it didn't feel right. Then he dumped me. I just hope I can stay on the squad.
It worked. Dave's still the man. The guy's lucky he got a hopeless crush on a pretty cool girl.
And these are little moments that show us that Jenna isn't that bad of a person. She knew that Claire was with Casey, and yet she kept flirting with him even after seeing that Claire was suspicious.
I'm sure you'll find a guy who's right for you someday.
I'm sure I will, Claire Bear.
Even though she ends up with Casey, she's still bothered by Claire and Allie's judgment of her.
I don't know about Alberta, but here we don't steal people's boyfriends.
I didn't steal anything, Allie.
Go tip a cow or something.
Which I find interesting because she clearly wanted to be their friend, but she ultimately chose her feelings for Casey over friendship. She becomes so insecure with Claire that she convinces Casey to get Claire to help him cheat on his test.
Why don't you ask Claire for help during the exam? She wouldn't want to see you flunk math, would she? You said you were friends again. So, what are friends for?
I think in her head she thought if she could get Claire to help out, then he wouldn't need a tutor anymore, meaning he wouldn't need to study with Claire. As a result, she and Casey would have more time to spend together.
It's okay. I told Casey you'd bend the rules for him. It'll be all our secret.
First you cheat on me with her, now you cheat off of me because of her. You used me, so you and your perky little girlfriend could slack off and make out.
Claire, come on.
Don't talk to me.
Although she might seem on the surface to be the jealous, clingy girlfriend, you also see moments where she's emotionally supportive of Casey.
If there's one thing I've learned, it's to trust my instincts. Something's off with him.
He's the one who helped me break up with Claire. I should be thanking him.
After the start of the next school year, she starts to get jealous of Claire again.
She looks good the way she is.
I thought it was no concern of yours. You have been looking at her.
Not like that.
She accuses her of getting a boob job due to a misunderstanding.
It's desperate. It's slutty, and I'm starting to think it's all part of some crazy plan to get KC back. I'm not the one who got a boob job.
I got laser eye surgery. See, no glasses.
Oh, oops.
This also reveals that even though Jenna proudly claims that she's a boyfriend stealer, she starts to see Marisol flirt with Casey.
Here I was, worried you'd be waiting here.
all uncomfortable and alone.
Everybody loves a football star.
Yeah, they sure do. Did you give those girls your cell?
Just Marisol?
Casey, that girl collects boys like other people collect ringtones.
And because of this, she ends up answering his phone and taking it. It's kind of interesting to see Jenna in this position when she was the smiley girl that didn't mind flirting with another girl's boyfriend. After Casey starts to work on a relationship with his mother, we see that Jenna disapproves of his behavior to frame her so he doesn't have to live with her.
You've got to accept your mom's changed.
No, she hasn't.
Alcohol, not illegal.
But an ex-addict shouldn't have it.
What did she do that was so bad?
We also learn that Jenna lives with her brother. We don't get much on their parents, but from what I gather, Jenna probably didn't have a close relationship with them. This might also be why she has the relationship she does with boys, since she doesn't seem to have a close relationship with her mother.
Tell us how my mom has, please.
I can't lie. Your mom's nice.
What makes you the expert on mothers? Where's left you?
Real nice, Casey.
Why are you taking my mom's side?
Because maybe it's the right one.
That also might be why she's encouraging Casey to try to fix his relationship with his mother. She also probably wishes that her mother would come back and try desperately to work things out with her. So I think in a way she envies Casey's relationship with his mother. Jenna becomes so insecure with her body and the fact that she's gained a few pounds that she gets diet pills off Bianca.
I love that you're that kind of girl.
You mean like a fat girl? Opposite of Skeletor, as in fat.
That are supposed to help burn off fat, but she ends up experiencing some side effects to the diet pills she took.
I think I should get down. Seriously, guys. Lower me. I have to get down now.
Uh-oh, side effects. Jenna, that's disgusting.
While trying to audition for a show next Teen Star, Jenna avoids the possibility that she might be pregnant.
Do you notice you're missing your periods? Have any of the other symptoms?
I hoped I was imagining it, and I just got scared.
If you were to keep the baby, what support mechanisms would you have in place?
Just me. Our dad's working out west, and her mom's not in the picture.
Even after screwing up her first audition by throwing up, she's determined to prove herself and goes back again and storms in auditioning.
Sometimes the real world gives you a second chance.
Sorry, sweetheart. You gotta keep things moving here, so... Can someone...
Oh, Mr. Perfect, you gave everything to me. It felt like destiny, and you called me right on time. Has a tattoo, and my parents love him too. Never put up a fight, and say it's alright.
And the judges are impressed with her. Casey wants her to get an abortion, and she doesn't want to.
Maybe it's for the best, Casey. Maybe this is how it's supposed to be.
How is it for the best in any possible way, Jenna? Do you even hear yourself? You do whatever you want. I can't be involved.
You're gonna make me go through this alone?
My life is being held together by tape right now. I don't need this.
She then has to deal with a teen pregnancy alone because Casey doesn't want to step up.
This is gonna mean big changes for both of us.
Kyle, I'm so sorry.
That's the deal. Your life is my life. Babies too, I guess. But have we been through worse?
Yeah.
Middletons don't give up.
I need a ride. Next Teen Star. The Middletons don't give up.
She even reveals herself on TV, hoping that would gain her sympathy.
I'll be ready. When I win, I'll have a record deal and a nanny.
You pretended it wasn't happening until it was too late.
Is this why you called me here? To yell at me? I don't need this. We're trying to help. I don't need help. I'm my own hero right now.
But she ended up getting voted off anyway. Now with no plan and a baby on the way, she has to also figure out how she'll support herself and the baby.
I was living in a dream world. Afraid I'm gonna screw up this baby. It has a dummy of a mom. Could I call you?
Well, I was never Mother of the Year.
Whatever happens, we'll make it work. Is it normal to be this scared?
Oh, yeah.
Casey only turns back up because he thought she liked Sav. After their child is born, Jenna is the one that has to stay home and take care of Tyson, while Casey goes to school.
I spend all day, every day alone with him. I need a break. You are strong and bright. I don't feel that way anymore. I've got a dead mom, a deadbeat dad. Even my brother moved back to Alberta.
Although she has some support from her brother, it seems like he's probably had to take on the financial responsibility for himself and Jenna, so he isn't able to be around to help out.
Lucky guy. Goes to school, sees his friends, doesn't get woken up by his screaming nephew 4 times a night.
He's doing his part. He's bringing over more diapers later.
Wow, he should get a medal.
Kyle.
I just think that the dude who actually helped make that baby should be around a little more.
My brother just moved away. I don't really have anyone else.
When she asks some other mothers for some advice, they just tell her to get a nanny as if a teenager can afford that. Thankfully, she has some help from Casey's mom, but after a while of being a mother, it starts to become more stressful. Imagine being 15 and taking care of a child when you yourself aren't financially secure, and you're still in this in-between period of adolescence where you haven't really figured out who you are as a person, and she's now responsible for another person. After moving in with Casey, he ends up getting a job, so he's never around to help her.
This girl at work?
Yeah, Marisol.
Oh, how nice of her.
I used to be on Power Squad with Miss Flirty Flirt Casey. I know her type. I used to be her type.
She wants to go back to school as well, but she has no one to watch the baby. She ends up finding out that her boyfriend was cheating on her, and she even makes the mistake of leaving the baby on the changing table. It was a careless act, but being trapped with a baby, overwhelmed and needing a break, wanting to take a few seconds to write some music, the baby ends up falling off the changing table. In those few seconds, her whole world changes. Child Services gets involved.
Were you even paying attention?
Do not accuse me of being a bad mother. I'm with him all the time while you're off having fun, saying it's not work to stay home with the baby.
I don't know what it must be nice to sit at home, watch TV, and play guitar while our baby falls off the table.
You're such an ass.
She even swings her guitar at KC.
I'm at home, depressed, missing my life, while you run around with Marisol. Music is my life, and I've even had to give that up.
God forbid you put your guitar down for 2 seconds.
She's also the one that suggests that it might be best to give the baby up for adoption. Although KC doesn't want to do that, he also isn't the one with all the responsibility and emotional stress.
Only 5 years until Ty's in kindergarten.
I'll never make it that long without getting completely depressed.
I'll take more shifts at little mistakes.
Your solution is to spend more time with Marisol?
No, that's not what I meant. Look, Jenna, we can make this work.
We can't even make us work. How are we supposed to raise a kid?
It's a sad moment to watch as Tyson is taken away, because you did see how Jenna tried hard to take care of him. Even though she might not be the most likable, it's never easy for a parent to give up their child, and it takes immense strength to do what's best for their child, even if it is for selfish reasons, like not wanting the responsibility. It takes that level of awareness to make a decision like this.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done. Tyson's new parents are wonderful. It was the right choice.
Oh, I have to say I'm impressed.
Really shows your strength of character.
Not too many adults I know could go through something like that and still be smiling. Good for you.
After this point, Jenna lives with Allie for the rest of her time on the show. I felt like I could see some level of maturity by this point. You just see it in her behavior as the show goes on. We see her dealing with the lingering guilt of giving up Tyson.
It's just been hard for me to move on. It seems so easy for you.
It's not. I miss him too, every day.
As well as her anger toward KC for their breakup. However, after performing a song she wrote about KC,
I'm over you, alright. So get it from me, cause you know it's right. So I'll forget everything that happened. So get me out of your head.
she's finally able to get over all the anger she had. And we also see that she's not ready to know about how Tyson is doing, even though Casey is pressuring her.
Don't you care that your son's adjusting to his new life?
Of course I do.
Maybe if you spend some time
I
with
can't.
him, you'd be so selfish.
You're the one who barely helped out after Ty was born.
But Ty needs us, Jenna. His parents.
We're not his parents anymore.
She still offers to help Claire with the newspaper.
Jenna and Jake. Jenna,
we're just friends, Claire.
You have to be freaking kidding me.
Most of the time, I just feel like people are judging me.
Probably because they are.
Is it okay if I help too? You're not still mad at me, are you?
Oh, please. I got over that Casey thing ages ago, and Jake can see whoever he wants.
Jake and I are just friends. So where do we start?
After this point, Claire and Jenna are friends.
It's a little weird, okay?
Yeah, it might be weirder if you uninvite him. I think you have feelings for him. Lustings, moonlight desires.
Okay, fine. I did have urges, but now I don't. They're gone.
All right, so I don't see why going bungee jumping with the guy is such a problem.
I liked after a while that all the girls could put everything behind them and became this friend group. I also like how good of a friend she is to Allie. For instance, there's a moment that comes to mind when Allie's mother finds Allie's pregnancy test. Jenna takes the fall because she knows how fearful Allie is of her parents finding out.
I'm very disappointed in you, Jenna. We took responsibility for you, and you still behave like a floozy? You will have no boys over, you will have a curfew of 9 p.m. Fail to follow these rules, and you will have to find a new place to live.
This might also be because she's staying there and she feels like she has to take the blame, but I did respect Jenna for doing it in order to protect Allie. She was also the first one that noticed Leo's behavior when she started abusing Allie.
Did he hurt you?
It wasn't his fault, it was an accident.
That's not an excuse.
It was my fault, I started it.
Are you even hearing yourself right now?
I was right? I didn't want to be right in your face. It was my fault, I was so overwhelmed. I ruined our whole wedding date.
I knew he was violent.
No, if he loved you, he wouldn't have done this.
They just seem to have a closer friendship at times, and I think it comes from Jenna coming off as less judgmental.
Annulment forms. Based on what happened, you can void your wedding. It'll be like you never married that jerk, bastard-ass loser in the first place. Don't worry. We'll get through this together.
Later, when Jenna makes friends with Becky, she also takes an interest in her brother Luke. We see Jenna fall into the trap again of desperately trying to catch a guy's attention when she convinces herself to get baptized for Luke because he says that she tempts him. This type of language puts the blame on the woman for why the guy has sexual desires.
You
tempt me.
Tempt you? Like sexually?
Yeah, it's not part of God's path. Maybe it would be different if you were Christian.
But in Jenna's head, she believes that if she can fit the religious image that Luke has, then it will be okay for them to be together. However, things don't work out because he never had plans of being with her even after getting baptized.
You told me God has a plan for me. How could it be so stupid?
Jenna, I didn't...
I got baptized for you.
No, I never asked you to do that.
Just stop talking.
She then admits the truth about using Becky, who was in one of the bathroom stalls listening.
I got baptized. I pretended to be Becky's friend, all because Luke made me feel special for 5 minutes.
So you lied about everything? Being Christian isn't about one night. It's about trying to follow Jesus' example, trying to be a good person every day. And you, Jenna Middleton, are not a good person.
After realizing what she did wrong, she goes to church, finding some solace after speaking. She makes up with Becky in the process.
He promised God had a plan for me, and I thought he was the key to that plan. Turns out the guy played me, starring my life. But I'm over it, because now I know it wasn't the guy I wanted. It was God. And it took a special person for me to realize that. Person I totally betrayed.
It makes sense why Jenna would feel comfortable with a concept like God.
Well, lately I've felt like everyone knows where they're going except me. He told me that God has a plan for everyone. And if that's true, I want to know what his plan is for me.
I'm proud of you, Jenna.
Because I'm lost?
Because you're trying to get found.
She doesn't have a relationship with her family. She gave up her child. She wants to know that something will always be there for her to rely on.
Must be nice to have a path. Someone always watching your back. Ever since I gave up Ty, I felt lost and confused. I'm sick of feeling this way. I need someone or something more permanent than that. The truth is, I wanted it to be true. What if he lied about God too?
After Cam's death, Jenna checks in on Luke, who makes this comment about Connor even after everything that's happened.
If you ever need to talk.
You think anyone will ever care about him?
Excuse me?
Come on, it was a joke.
Am I laughing? Connor's way cooler than you'll ever be.
Man, there really was no hope for this guy, huh? At times, Jenna doesn't trust her own judgment when it comes to guys.
If you felt so uncomfortable, maybe dating Connor's not a good idea.
Maybe he's all wrong for me and I just can't see it because it felt so good to hang out with a nice guy for once.
We also see her insecurity come out again after Connor starts getting more attention when she gives him a makeover. She worries so much about whether Connor will find her attractive that she ends up dressing like this to a dance. And I mean, this girl is gorgeous, so it really shows how deep her insecurities go when it comes to how she views herself. She worries about how her relationship is seen by others.
They went to space.
Is that a euphemism?
No, Dallas.
Oh, are you gonna get married and make cute little astronaut babies?
This is why I didn't tell anyone. You guys are so annoying. Look, I just want people to respect you. I'm sick of people thinking we're a weird couple.
Why do you care so much what other people think?
Because maybe they're right.
I don't think the problem's other people. I think it's you.
To the point where she feels the need to change Connor.
I'm so sorry. We don't have to do this stupid competition. I really don't care what other people think.
I accept your apology, and we have to win the competition.
But you think it's stupid.
You don't, and I've read that compromise is important in a relationship.
And we see where these insecurities come from. She's already been judged for so much that she isn't fully secure with herself or her decisions. At times it feels like she needs a guy's approval to feel secure. Because of her unhealthy relationships in the past, it makes sense why she'd feel a little insecure since she's not used to being in a healthy relationship.
Well, after being lied to by a few guys, I can get behind brutal honesty.
You're just saying that because I haven't offended you yet. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but you seem like you want to kiss.
Am I that obvious?
Obvious is good, but should I move in?
This time, don't stop.
I also love the conversation that she has with Connor because she finally decides to stop caring about how others view her relationship with him.
Connor must think I'm an idiot.
Why did you wear a garment that couldn't contain your ample bosom?
You said you liked it because those stupid little girls were trying to get with you.
They only like me now that I'm conventionally dressed. You liked me before then. Besides, I don't love any of those other girls.
Do you love me?
Yes, and I hope you reciprocate.
I love you, just the way you are.
Jenna doesn't really get much focus after this point, a plot line here and there, but like I said, I believe there's a level of maturity that's seen through her time on the show that I think should be acknowledged.
It's a feminist horror film from our own Mistress of the Macabre, Lucy Fernandez.
For those of you who didn't watch Degrassi High, you already know how in-depth I can go, so don't worry. You'll know who she is by the end of this. Lucy was introduced in Degrassi Junior High Season 1. She had more of a laid-back personality and a good eye for style.
If you want to look glitzier, you should try some makeup. I know lots. My parents sent me special lessons last year. My dad bought me all this neat stuff from New York. I have different colors of everything. It'll be fun.
She's funny.
We're not going to look stupid or anything, are we?
No more than usual.
And supportive.
Speaking of needing other people, check the reunion website last night. You're not confirmed.
I know.
We're all sorry that your wife died. It's been a year. I think that Julia'd be upset if she thought that you were cutting yourself off from people.
Then at least come out for drinks with us tonight.
Yeah.
You know what? He'd love to.
We also see how nice she is with children.
Lucy, this is for you. Thank you. I like all the colors you're using. You're a good painter. Yeah, I like the color you're using for the grass.
I already got that vibe from how she interacted with Angela.
Tell me that's not Angela.
Yeah.
Hey, cutie, you're practically a teenager.
Can you say hi, Lucy?
Hi.
This makes sense too. She gives children the attention she wishes she got from her parents, and she just seems very sweet and caring of others. When we start to get some insight on Lucy, we learn that she hasn't been doing as well in school. When she's questioned on this, she doesn't really seem to care at all. She hasn't been trying as much. She also seems avoidant when asked if something's going on at home.
Your marks have been declining this year. You seem to have stopped working. Is everything all right at home?
Yeah, everything's fine. Can I go? I've got study period.
You need to talk to someone. That's what I'm here for.
Everything's fine, really. Maybe I'm going through a phase or something.
You had better begin a new phase, or you're going to jeopardize your entire year.
She even seems to diminish school when she says how she's going to be a dancer.
Get better marks or you'll jeopardize your year. I don't have to worry. I don't need spelling. I'm gonna be a dancer.
I'm good at spelling and stuff, so if you want any help. Besides, who wants to take grade 8 over again?
Because she doesn't get encouragement from her parents, she figures there's no point to putting effort into school, but you also see a little hope in her eyes when a student named Vula offers to help her study. Lucy's used to being home alone all the time. Her parents clearly feel she is responsible enough to be left alone so much.
Hi, Mom.
Still tied up downtown.
Oh, how long will it go on for?
Oh, you know what these deals are like.
Yeah, I understand.
Dad still at the office?
Yeah, I'll fix my own dinner.
There's sushi in the fridge.
Bye.
She even says this when she's asked about being lonely.
My parents are perfect. They buy me everything I want, and they're always working, so they're never around here to bug me. Don't you get lonely? I'm self-sufficient.
This is because she's conditioned herself to respond this way. It's easier saying that she's self-sufficient than to admit that she is lonely.
Would you like to borrow the scarf? It's not that weird. Your parents won't mind. Thanks. Listen, keep it for as long as you like. I've got lots.
We also see that as soon as her mother calls and says that she won't be home for dinner, she immediately wants to put off studying.
This is so boring. You've got to keep practicing. It's my right to flunk if I want to. How long's the meeting going to go on for? No, Dad phoned. He's working late too. I'm tired of studying. Let's go have some fun. But we haven't finished yet. I don't care. Come on, I want to make you over. What? Lose?
She even begs Vula to stay for dinner.
Vula, you can stay for supper if you want. My mom will be back soon. She's a gourmet cook. She takes classes and stuff.
And when Vula says that she's made to have dinner every night at home, Lucy responds like this.
My dad always makes us have supper together. Boring. That's okay.
Although she acts like she doesn't like school, during a spelling test, when a word that they studied comes up, you see that Lucy looks excited, recognizing that she remembered how to spell it. These are very little things that do show that Lucy does like learning.
I never got an A+ before.
I thought you didn't care about marks.
I don't. They're fascist. It's nice to get a good one sometimes.
She's just never really had anyone to help her or praise her for her accomplishments. Her and Vula go to the mall, and Lucy decides to shoplift with her friend there.
Shh, be casual. They expect to lose stuff. Anyway, it's not that expensive. Don't be such a whip, Vula. I'm not a whip. You're a thief. Run!
I'll take the bag, ladies. This way.
She ends up getting caught and into some trouble since it wasn't the first time that she was caught.
The store has to pay for the things you steal, which means they have to raise the prices and people have to pay more.
You've been caught before? Of course not. Think I do this all the time?
You again. And I see you brought a friend with you this time.
You can tell that Lucy also engages in this behavior because she wants some attention. She's clearly bored, so it makes sense why she would do this.
I'm sorry I ever helped you. I used to think you were sophisticated, but you're just dumb.
Lucy, we're having a little difficulty tracking down your parents.
You're very busy.
Well, we're gonna have to charge you this time. Would you come with me, please?
No more Lucy. No more Lucy for you.
It's something that she's chosen to do as a way to escape how bad she feels about her home circumstance. She probably isn't able to go to her parents with her problems or worries because they're never around, and also because they expect her to be responsible and mature. Lucy is also young, so she probably doesn't realize that her behavior is because she seeks attention, even if it is negative. She also seems to have grown up in privilege, so she undervalues the trouble that someone can get into for shoplifting. And what this really reveals is that she'd rather risk getting caught for shoplifting than be home alone. She later reveals that her and her family have to go to family therapy.
You said we have to take family counseling. My parents probably won't be able to find the time. You want any more help? But I thought your parents said. I'll talk to them. You want any help?
And Vula clearly feels bad for Lucy and her circumstance at home. Later, Lucy takes a liking to a substitute teacher named Mr. Colby because he makes her feel important when she often feels unseen by everyone.
I found your paper very moving.
Thanks, Mr. Colby.
You really captured the sadness of when a best friend moves away.
He sure likes to touch you.
I like him. He treats me like I'm special, you know?
I think it's creepy when teachers are too friendly.
There's no such thing as too friendly.
She reveals that after her parents found out about shoplifting, they started eating dinner together and going on family picnics.
They were kind of disappointed. They worked hard at being good parents after that. We had dinner together and stuff, and we went on family picnic. It was kind of neat, but now they're real busy.
Do you ever get lonely?
I like to be alone. I'm independent.
But they became busy with work again, so the cycle repeats.
I can't go to the movie Saturday. My parents sort of said I can't see you. I'll call you in a couple of weeks when I get over it.
It also seems that her parents thought that doing some family activities would resolve everything. One thing she wants is consistency from them, but at the end of the day, she understands that they'll prioritize work over her. They also seem like the type of parents that are disappointed because they believe that Lucy's behavior reflects on them.
Well, I'm sorry. I was dumb. I have to go to court. They said I was a spoiled brat after all they've done for me. Maybe they're right.
Of course, it makes sense that they would be upset and disappointed in Lucy, but it also seems like her parents didn't really understand how deep Lucy's loneliness went. Her friend LD noticed Mr. Colby's behavior getting too close. She tried to warn Lucy, who wasn't hearing it.
Today in class, you sort of looked down your top.
Finally, teacher likes me, and you're trying to spoil it. Too chicken to wear makeup, and you're too chicken to talk to boys. You're just jealous.
Well, at least I don't shoplift!
See if I ever help you again.
He learns more about her personal issues and uses this to manipulate her into thinking he's looking out for her well-being.
I'm glad we get along so well. I could see you were mature beyond your years. That's why I gave you an A. I recognized your sensitivity. I know what loneliness is like. I'm more interested in us. Don't be so tense. You need a friend, Lucy.
After gaining her trust enough, he starts to take advantage of her.
My dad brought it back from Thailand.
Silk is such a sensuous material. I love the feel. Don't you? Don't be scared.
I've gotta go.
I'm glad we had this talk, Lucy.
When she gets home, all she has is a pre-recorded message to listen to, like always.
We're running a little late, but we will be there for dinner. I want to congratulate you on the marks you've been getting recently. That's my girl. Keep up the good work.
It doesn't seem like she'd feel comfortable going to her parents either, since they always expect her to be independent. Thankfully, LD stopped by.
Brought your scarf. Lucy. Lucy, what's wrong?
After he leaves for a while, we see that Lucy is still haunted by what happened.
You need a friend, Lucy. Friend, Lucy. Friend, Lucy.
Don't touch me. I was lonely. He was just trying to help. Nothing happened.
Lucy, I saw him.
Lucy, come on.
Just leave me alone.
Having nightmares, not talking about it with anybody.
You guys exaggerate so much. Nothing happened. I must have let him on or something. No, you didn't. You should report him. It'd just be a hassle. I don't have time. I have to study. He doesn't bother me, and I'm the one who's supposed to be bothering, right?
And when he returns, she now has to face her abuser, while everyone around her thinks he's a great teacher.
Hello, Doris. Hello, Lucy. Is there a copy of Miss Avery's lesson?
A message.
Nice to have you back, Miss Colby. Nice to be back.
She also notices that Mr. Colby is now preying on another student named Susie.
Be careful around Mr. Colby, okay? Why? Just be careful. What are you talking about? He's very nice. And at least he's helping me with the yearbook.
I might also be reaching here, and please feel free to let me know. I got the feeling that he probably targets young black and brown girls, possibly knowing that he could take advantage of the fact that they might not be believed, which shows how predatory and calculating he is.
I tried to. You were lonely. You needed someone to talk to. All we did was talk. If anything had happened, you would have told someone. And you didn't have to watch that imagination of yours.
If you come any closer, I'll scream.
You drop these.
And it had me thinking so much more about this when I realized this might be the case. There's always been this adultification of young black and brown girls compared to white girls, meaning that people will see a 12-year-old black girl and treat her more like an adult, while a 12-year-old white girl would be perceived as more innocent and childlike. This leads to a responsibility that might be put on the young black girl, even though she is still a child as well. To no one's surprise, we also see underreporting because of systemic racism. There also might be more skepticism when a young black girl reports assault, and this can be so traumatizing for a young person because they aren't believed. So then this creates distrust with an entire system. I'll put some links in the description if this topic interests you. I think it's important to understand how systemic injustices continue to exist, and the more people are educated, the more we can start to normalize and center black and brown voices in the narrative. In the end, Lucy convinces Susie to report Mr. Colby. From how Lucy is depicted in her beliefs, she seems to be very left-leaning for bodily autonomy.
It hasn't even been born yet, so how can it be like murder? It's a fetus. It can't talk or think. I mean, it can't even feel. So women are just baby factories? Incubators without right? What if the woman doesn't want to have the baby? Is it right to force her to keep the fetus? I mean, you're denying her choice.
She understands her boundaries and consent.
I thought you really liked me.
I do like you.
Then prove it. Be so special.
Paul, not now, okay? Just because you're a guy, I have to do everything you want?
What's the big deal? Everyone's doing it.
You don't have any problem finding someone else to do it with.
Lucy.
Paul, I said no.
After what happened with Mr. Colby, it makes sense that she would guard herself.
Stop it. What are you doing? Come on. What are you doing?
Oh, gosh, man, leave me alone. Hey, it's not your business.
Get him out of here, please.
She's principled.
Amy and Allison have graciously agreed to be in our video in bathing attire.
Girls in bikinis? Talk about a cliche. You're not using my camera to film a sexist video.
Wait a minute, it's not sexist. It's a celebration of beauty.
So find another camera to film your celebrations.
And when she focuses on something, she takes it seriously, to the point where she feels like a failure when everyone laughs at the film they made for class.
They hate it. They're laughing at everything. They're not even listening to the dialogue. I wanted it to be perfect.
So now you've got a goal for your next film. The key is to keep trying. Oh, come on, it's a monster blockbuster smash hit, and you made it.
I also really related to this comment that Lucy says about being biracial.
You think the reason they don't want me to go with him is because he's black? My parents. Just because they're your parents does not mean they're perfect. Have you ever been discriminated against? Yeah, lots of times. I get it both ways because I'm only half black, right? So I get called Oreo and half-breed. Really nice stuff.
Tells me that she's aware that she's still marginalized, but she also recognizes that she experiences prejudice in a different way. We don't know if she's ever had identity issues because of this. We never see her parents, so we don't know what their relationship is like, or if Lucy recalls any moments of prejudice because her parents are an interracial couple. They seem financially secure, so there's an amount of privilege as well. She's also a really good and loyal friend. When she finds out her friend LD has leukemia, she keeps her secret after LD asks her not to tell anyone. Even when she was supposed to go to her party, she ended up going back to the hospital to support LD.
Is the party over already? I decided not to go. I brought you a friend. I also got some magazines. I thought maybe we could look through them, pick out clothes or something.
Luce, thanks for coming back.
She also makes videos for LD to keep her up to date with everything going on at Degrassi. I would love to have a friend like Lucy. Even after LD leaves Degrassi, Lucy continues making videos for the rest of the year. She also ends up being valedictorian, which is impressive from how she started. Lucy is also flawed at times. When she starts getting attention from her new boyfriend Paul, she starts hanging out with him more over her friends, to the point of lying to them about a party that she was having at her house. She's young and has never had a boy's interest. Although she made a mistake, it's understandable. She wanted to seem more mature for her boyfriend, especially knowing that her parents haven't given her consistent attention. A boy seemingly prioritizing her. It makes sense why this clouded her judgment. In Degrassi School's Out, Lucy ends up getting into a car crash when Wheels drives drunk, temporarily blinding her. In the beginning of Degrassi: The Next Generation, we see that she's walking with a cane, showing that there's some permanent damage. There was even a deleted scene where Wheels confronts her at the reunion and apologizes to her.
There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about what I did. I'm still paying for it. I'm really, really sorry. That's it. Yes, that's all.
The thing is, I actually feel sorry for him.
I really like how early Degrassi was dedicated to tying up loose ends from the original show. We also learn that Lucy has achieved a lot despite her setbacks, getting a PhD in anthropology.
2 years of physical therapy, followed by an honors BA and a master's in anthropology.
PhD in one more year?
Guys, that's not brave.
No, you're right. It's just brilliant, awesome, amazing.
It's not even awesome, it's just life. I survived the accident. I got off easy.
After rewatching Degrassi High, I found myself relating to Lucy a lot. Someone that didn't believe in her abilities, someone that thought there was no point to putting in effort. She was able to push past her issues with her family and make her own successes. I just never really found myself annoyed with Lucy's character, and I think she's pretty cool.
The Martins, Glenn and his son just moved back here.
His son Jake, who threw a dead frog at me last time I saw him.
I've stated before that I really like Jake as a character. Some might make the argument that because he didn't have a lot going on, it meant he was boring. I disagree with this. Sure, he's not deep, but I thought that he fit into a video like this since he's often overlooked. He's a fun character that I think becomes more likable as the show goes on.
You think you and Claire will brave the cabin this summer?
Your father's been trying to get me to go up there.
Well, this time of year, it's beautiful. The wolves are howling, the fish are biting, and the only tweets are made by birds.
Sounds rustic.
Even though he never really has a serious issue or deep trauma like some of the other characters, when Jake starts out on the show, he's pretty laid back.
I'm building the sets for the new play.
Written by and starring my ex.
Yeah, I guess so. Is that all right?
Yeah, totally.
I'm glad I finally found something I like to do at Degrassi.
He's a bit of a flirt.
Hey, Claire. Who's your friend?
You get girls, right?
Well, you mean get as in get or get as in get? Take her out. Make it official or we'll lose her.
He might also seem closed off at first, but it's not really because he comes off as unapproachable. It's just more like he keeps to himself. After Claire blows up at Eli, Jake saves her from further embarrassment.
Did you ever love me at all?
End scene.
Leave me alone, I'm not finished yet.
You are Claire. Let's go.
Let go of
Claire,
me.
let's go.
And this is the first person to tell her as it is, and he kisses her, leaving an impression with Claire.
The one who needs closure here is you. Why does everything have to be so dramatic? Move on, Claire. Here, let me try something.
What are you doing?
Just shut up for a sec. No big deal. So, should we go in? Tell our parents all about our night?
Or not?
Jake is also very handy since his father is a contractor.
What are you doing here?
Hello to you too.
I think it's a fair question.
Dad wanted me to finish with the sink. You want to help?
You know, before the divorce, my mom wouldn't let a boy in the house. Now she's happy to leave me alone with one.
Well, what do you think you do?
Homework. Lots of homework.
The reason he moved there was because his father couldn't get any contracting work. You see a slight change in Jake's facial expression when Claire asks why they moved there.
What caused the move?
Well, the contracting business up north is dead, so I had to drag Jake here, kicking and screaming, to the city.
You don't like it?
It's not really my thing.
Oh.
Showing how he doesn't really want to revisit a subject that he's already lost on and has no control over. Claire tries to deny her attraction to Jake, but he also continues to flirt with her.
Do you often get changed in other people's kitchens?
Didn't know I had an audience.
I wasn't staring, if that's what you think.
Okay, if you were.
Well, I wasn't. I have homework.
Okay, see you around.
They start a casual relationship with each other. We learn that Jake's parents are divorced.
It sucked when my parents split. Folks had these other lives that I wasn't part of. Went out on dates to cardio fit. And sometimes I felt that they'd forgotten all about me.
And he really doesn't want to be in a serious relationship because of that.
Hang out with you too.
So what? I'm like the other woman?
You're another woman. After my folks split, I gave up relationships. It's too much hurt.
It must have been a pretty messy divorce if it changes his entire outlook on relationships. I just like how helpful of a guy Jake is too. He helps out with the school play. He helps Mo out by getting him a job to pay for his date with Marisol.
Okay, listen. My dad's putting me on this paint job, and if you help, we can split the money.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Mo, I mean, people are kind of staring.
Let him stare.
Come on, grab All right.
As he gets used to Degrassi and closer to Claire, I feel like there's a level of maturity to Jake.
I know this is fiction.
Eli is such a good storyteller. It's so easy to want to believe him. If anyone knows, I do.
I would never believe Eli over you. He's weird. He wears eyeliner and writes plays.
It's also hard to move to a new school and city. I really like his reactions to things. It gets a smile out of me.
Never turn your back on the blade. What?
I found needles in his backpack.
Is he on crack? Bad. This is really, really bad, Marisol.
What do you want our first sexual experience to be like?
Sexy? It would be with you, obviously. I think it'd be great if it was in a bed.
He never really complains about anything. He's also willing to put his feelings aside when he sees that his father is happy moving on.
Are you not at all concerned that they're rushing into this?
They like each other.
My mom is not ready for this. I have to stop this wedding.
You're kidding. Look, my dad is happy.
And what about me? I don't matter?
You do, but maybe we should just cool it. We'll be living together, Claire. What happens if we break up then?
Claire isn't as willing to sacrifice their relationship, but it does show that Jake might be used to giving things up.
Getting married. Well, that's it. No opinion. It mean a lot to me to have your approval, Jake.
If you're happy, Dad, and I'm happy.
We also get a little bit of insight into how Jake was raised.
Jake has no time limit on his guests, he has no curfew, and he smoked weed without serious consequence.
I think that Jake should share the same rules as you.
Well, sue me, okay? I believe in giving my kid a little slack. He turned out so bad.
He smokes marijuana.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
He does fuck up by kissing Allie, but it does make sense how this happened since Allie and Dave broke up, and he wasn't sure if he was getting back together with Claire. However, it still wasn't right. Claire forgave him right away, so whatever. After trying to make his relationship with Claire work a second time in secret, he ultimately realizes that he can't be together, that it's not practical, they won't be able to have a future together, and he'd rather break up before it gets messy.
I don't think we'll be together forever.
I know, there's a chance we'll break up.
There's more than a chance. With our parents married, we're linked for life. Having sex would just complicate things a lot.
I think we should break up. If it's gonna happen, why wait, right?
When Claire moves out of the house, he still looks after her by tracking down where she's staying because he's so worried.
Where are you staying?
With a friend. I met her downtown a few days ago. I'd appreciate it if you keep it to yourself.
No. You barely know these people. I'll stop hanging out with Jenna. I'll move out. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. Can't keep this a secret.
If you ever loved me, you will.
Again, we see that Jake is willing to give up something that makes him happy for someone he cares about. They develop this sibling-like relationship after this point.
I'll slap you out of it, but unfortunately my hands are so tied, so...
You know, I was so upset about losing a boyfriend. I never really thought about how awesome it would be to have a brother. So lame.
Really?
He gives her advice at times.
We need your perspective.
Jake.
Do I have to?
Yes. Okay, so if a guy doesn't bring up a past kiss, doesn't mean he's not interested.
No, if he's interested, I'll kiss her again. Does that guy favor the color black?
Out.
She even ends up telling on him when Helen finds out about the weed he had.
It's not even his.
Whose is it then?
It's Jake's. He gave it to Eli.
Oh. We didn't smoke in the house.
Len will deal with you when he gets home. And take your damn skates off.
It's fun to see them acting like brother and sister.
I want to spend as much time with him as I can. I have a plan. You have to help me.
I do.
You just have to call my mom and tell her that Eli's coming over to study with you. She can't kick him out because he's your guest and not mine.
What do I get out of this?
Very happy stepsister.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Especially seeing how their relationship started and how they were able to move on from each other. I like his friendship with Mo.
You are blowing my mind.
I'm blowing my own mind. Wait, into the darkness?
Oh, no, don't be scared. Just hold on to my waist.
And I know this is the end of school, right? I don't want this to be the end of our friendship. I want to enjoy my life in the long run, dude.
Now it's good to see that maybe our kids can play together, you know.
Hey, handsome.
What? They're both goofballs at times, the dynamic is fun. Jake also has a consistent friend at Degrassi since he's been mostly just kind of flying solo. I just like how he's never too complicated. He just seems like a genuinely fun and nice person.
Since our man Jake's single, I think we should keep it a guys' night. Woo, boys, not out. Sorry.
He seems like someone you could just talk to and vent, and he'll be supportive. So even though he isn't deep, I just can't find myself to be angry with his character. Jake is a nature guy too, which I love.
Sustainable rooftop garden, organic produce and flowers. We built a stage that runs on solar power, maybe a rain basin. Prove to my dad that I know exactly what I'm talking about.
It's often assumed that a quality like this is more feminine, unless you're like a farmer or something. Jake isn't interested in going to college or going the traditional path like the other students.
Yeah, I'm staying home to work for my dad. Martin Construction's on school, right?
At least I'm not throwing away my future.
Well, that's rich, coming from a girl that threw away the student council presidency for petty revenge. My future's fine. I've been researching environmentally friendly design. While you guys freak out over essays, I'll be changing the world.
He's dedicated to doing things more hands-on, and there's nothing wrong with that. He even tries to prove himself to his father when he wants to also be a contractor.
I don't want my dad's help. I want to build this green roof and prove to him I know what I'm doing. I'm too dumb for your stupid company. Can we move on?
Well, Jake, if anything, you're too smart. I'm trying to keep you in school. I don't want to see you locked in the construction business from here to eternity.
Yeah, Dad, I want to be. I love it, and I was trying to prove that to you with all this.
His father doesn't seem to be on board at first.
I've been researching. Martin Construction needs to go green.
Well, still just Martin's Construction. We have classes, remember?
Yeah, but you said so yourself. The most important learning happens on the job.
Yeah, after you finish school.
Hey, Dad.
Jake, clear? When did you become such a little tree hugger, huh?
Maybe it's possible that his father never went to college and he wanted that for his son.
I will help you build a garden somewhere here at the school if you apply to university. You don't have to go, okay? Just don't close any doors yet. You know, Martin's Construction's always going to be here.
Martin Construction?
Martin and Son. Come here.
But Jake seems to enjoy contracting and is serious about environmentalism.
This is, wow. For a stage, a meditation garden, flower planters, Degrassi needs this green roof.
I love it. New plans are so professional. Did you get someone to help you draw them up?
No. All me. My dad owns this construction company. I've been around it my whole life. So.
I also already mentioned that I think that his relationship with Katie is cute.
We all got permission, especially fresh out of rehab, Matlin here.
Okay, guys, I worked really hard to get my parents' trust back.
Well, maybe it's your boyfriend they trust. I do have a very trustworthy smile.
Any medical conditions I should be aware of?
Yeah, I burn easily.
Okay, I think I know the answers to all the other questions.
Thanks, I hate paperwork.
Post her breakup with Drew, Jake is able to get her out of her head and get revenge on Bianca.
This is gonna help me get over Drew after all.
I feel used. I guess you just need to get your frustration out. Toss a few eggs at Drew's bedroom window, get out your anger, and bada boom, you're over the relationship.
Okay, you should write a breakup self-help book.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't thought about that. Come on.
Even if it wasn't the best way to respond to things.
Okay, that happened. Katie, bad idea, come on. Whoa, Katie, bad idea. You wanna bust up your knee again? Let's go.
Katie and Jake cutely bicker with each other.
You know, after the game, I'm just gonna go hook up with the entire team, and then I'm gonna watch all the jock straps.
Said it, not me. I like you. I was waiting for you to be ready. Last time you kissed me, you cried.
I'm not sad anymore.
But she's also supportive of him.
But as far as jerks go, you're ever so slightly less jerky than that jerk.
Thanks for noticing.
Thought you weren't going.
I had a whole plan, but poof, it's gone because I can't convince my dad I know what I'm doing.
Why don't you show him? The school board set aside money for environmental initiatives, and no one knows how to spend it.
I really appreciate Jake's passion for nature and environmentalism.
You dropped something. Cycling bin's right here. So, can where it belongs. Like this?
Where the cans go? You some kind of crazy tree hugger or something?
Hey, pick it up now.
Especially in a world where we pollute and we're living with uncertainty about the future. Jake is also a pothead. I mean, are we really surprised that someone that cares so much about plants and the environment would end up smoking weed?
Maybe Jake can help you.
Struggling? I just found the plastic bag floating in the wind.
For 2 whole minutes.
Yeah, it's probably still there.
That's your secret. Pot.
Well, I prefer to call it by its proper name, marijuana.
So you were on drugs when you shot your film?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Even though he seems to be laid back, he does have his limits. I get very entertained when Jake smokes, rolling around in his roller skates.
Look how fast I'm going. Look how fast I'm going right now. Like a race car.
Jake, come back. They're copying, man.
Yeah, well, we finished studying and decided to chill.
You smoke weed again?
A bit, yes.
He's just a fun guy, what can I say? I like how he looks out for Eli here when they're playing a video game, especially because he's aware of what Eli went through.
By the time I'm through with you, you'll be nothing but lifeless bodies. Now's your chance, Eli. Come on, go. You can't say crap like that. He's still getting over fun in Cam's body in the greenhouse.
I have a film proposal for you.
Are you gonna tell me what it is?
Not until you agree to do it.
Yeah, do it.
I really want to know.
Me too.
I also find his jealousy over Katie and Dallas to be cute. Since he doesn't say directly what he wants, he falls back to acting like a jealous boyfriend.
Curious why you're taking him to our place, that's all.
Dallas is actually a nice guy, and we have stuff in common.
Oh, isn't that nice?
You have no right to be mad. You and I aren't dating.
Yeah, I know that. I talked about your heart, now you're finding another one to hang out with. Are you really going to an Ice Hounds game?
Now I am. P.S. You're acting like a jealous jerk.
Jake didn't get many plot lines, which was unfortunate. He was more of a supporting character, and I'm willing to admit at certain points he's just used as a plot device. There were some places that they could could have explored with Jake, like learning more about his mother. But even though we didn't get much, and he might not particularly stand out, I just can't help but like his character.
Hi, I'm Becky Baker. My brother's a nice hound, and we're new from Florida.
Sunshine State, I might have guessed.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I'm already aware that Becky isn't the most likable person, but I do think there's some interesting aspects to her character, even if she didn't end up the most memorable. In season 12, she was a new student at Degrassi from Florida. Her and her brother Luke are Christians, and she isn't afraid to let people know it either.
It's Romeo and Juliet, so I'm not quitting.
Oh, I wasn't worried. I prayed for you. And look, here you are. The Lord hasn't let me down yet. Hold it right there, mister. Ugly khakis to you are perfectly good pants to a person in need. I'll donate them on your behalf.
Although she has a bubbly personality, Becky is intuitive and observant. She can be calculating.
I had no idea when you auditioned that you were gay.
Oh, I'm not.
You were pretty convincing. I wanted to give you this. My dad's a minister if you ever need to talk to someone.
Talk to someone about what?
Soon you'll be performing that musical every night in front of people acting a certain way. It might affect you.
She's easily able to annoy Eli and one-up him at points.
Play's already been decided.
Why did you say this at our meeting?
Oh, guess you never gave me a chance. All singing, all dancing, all awesome.
I don't know anything about musicals.
No worries. I've got it all under control.
You really feel the underlying tension.
I'm always early. I'm a go-getter. I ran the entire drama club. Plays are my thing.
I went in.
Yay! Thank the Lord. I was so nervous that no one would want to work out with a new girl. What can I do?
Refreshments.
Refreshments. Okay. I just want to be involved.
Got it all under control. Partner.
There's this passive aggression exuding from both of them. She also seems like she's used to being in control since she tries to run the show when it comes to the school musical.
I'll go over this list and make some final decisions.
I'm the director.
Calm down. I'm just used to doing everything myself. Sorry. Here's a short list for all the roles. If you want to pick...
Yeah, I got it.
You'll need to do callbacks for Juliet AS.
I got it.
When she finds out that he came up with the idea to make Juliet played by Tristan, she quits the play disgusted by Eli's decision.
Finally, an original take.
Tristan is sweet, but he seems confused. You're only doing this to spite me.
I'm not.
You're trying to push me off my own project.
I just want the play to be special.
I can't be part of something that depicts an alternative lifestyle choice as normal.
She also starts a charity in order to sabotage ticket sales.
In this economic downturn, there's only so much money to go around, and Eli deserves none of it. He's finally getting what he deserves.
You're using charity for revenge.
What if I am?
Hello, Becky Baker. I didn't think you were a hypocrite.
Desperate to make a friend once she sees Jenna performing outside, she joins her and invites her over to her house.
But I think you're great, and my name is Becky. You are so good at singing. I'm coming on a little strong, aren't I? Sorry, it's just hard to make friends here.
Well, I know what that's like. I was the new girl once.
You know what they say? When God closes the door, he opens the window.
Look, I'm not going to say that I have my deepest sympathies for Christians, especially the ones that proactively spread their bigotry and hatred, but it must be hard to be a new student in a different country. On top of that, also a strong believer, and everyone around you doesn't share that belief. And once she thought she found a friend with the same beliefs, she finds out that it was really only because that friend was interested in her brother. She's constantly reminded of the play whenever she walks around at school.
Everywhere I go, it's musical this, musical that. There's something wrong with this school. People are in need, Luke.
Just ignore it.
I can't. It's wrong.
Bex, you forgetting about your super annoying superpower? You're loud. Just make them listen.
Especially because she wanted to work on that as an outlet. She keeps trying to sabotage the play in some way, and Adam points out how she's using poor families as revenge for the play, and this really gets to her since she wants to help others without a selfish motivation.
My intention started as pure, but when I saw the musical posters, I was motivated by hate. It wasn't about the families anymore. It was about making Eli and his musical suffer.
What are you gonna do?
Start by taking down this display.
She self-reflects and decides to take her stand down. We get a cute interaction between Becky and Adam.
My hero. You rescued me from my own disaster. I was being a hypocrite. I'm sorry. I have been wondering how Eli staged my favorite scene.
Act 1, Scene 5?
When Romeo and Juliet first meet. How did you know?
You seem like a romantic type.
She later finds out that Adam is trans, and this starts more of her bigotry.
The principal may allow this kind of filth, but his students need to know they can still follow a righteous path. So they're allowed to take a classic play and turn it gay, but we can't even express our own opinions. But I still believe in freedom of speech.
She starts praying for him and even trying to convince him to go back to church.
At least I see no need to hide the fact that I'm a girl.
I'm not a girl. I'm trans, and you're a real piece of work.
Made perfectly by the hands of God, as we all are. If you'd accept how God made you, you'd be happier.
Geez, I never thought of that.
But I really think I got through to Adam with that one.
She's also worried because she's attracted to him, and she doesn't understand why, since she's supposed to see him as a girl.
We nearly went on a date. What if I developed feelings for her? What if she turned me gay? Adam is a girl who likes girls.
He is transgender. Wait, is this why you're so hellbent on protesting the play?
Play's wrong, Jenna. Adam is really confused.
We see that the first thing that comes to mind for her is salvation. Becky has been conditioned to think the solution to someone's suffering is to be saved by God. Becky doesn't see that Adam would be suffering, having to pretend to be someone that he isn't, just trying trying to prove something to the church. She thinks that he's sinning and that he needs to fix himself. Adam pushes her and questions her faith using science, and she's forced to confront these contradictions.
You'll look past the Bible for a mollusk, but not when you see a play about two dudes in love.
It's just unnatural.
I've been thrown out of washrooms, beaten up bad.
I would never do any
But
of
the
that.
stuff you say makes people think it's okay to bully kids who are gay or transgender or different in any way.
He also tells her that he was bullied, and she clearly is disgusted by the fact. I find that a lot of bigoted Christians will usually condone violence towards people that they don't like, or if they're trying to defend what's in the Bible. But the Christians that try to be accepting, like genuinely, and not because they think they'll get some eternal reward for it, those are the ones that are caring. Those Christians are the ones that I'm sympathetic to. Becky wants to be genuinely a good person.
I would never intentionally hurt anyone. Swear to me you had nothing to do with Tristan going missing.
What?
Swear to God.
What is the big deal?
They'll have to cancel the play.
Isn't that what you wanted all along?
Because she was raised with bigoted beliefs that naturally promote hatred, this ends up contradicting with the person she knows she is at heart. After Tristan goes missing, she decides to fill in for him, but Eli doesn't want Juliet played by a girl.
You want me to promote homosexuality?
I want you to promote tolerance.
Tolerance isn't really her speed.
Tristan doesn't show up? I'll be Jules. If Tristan's missing because of something I did, it's my Christian duty to make things right. I have to do something. I'm still confused about all of it, but I didn't want to be responsible for ruining the play.
And this pushes her to prove that she can be accepting. Even though Tristan ends up showing up in time, the fact that Becky was willing to do this just shows that her morals and faith mean more to her.
I already have to lie to my parents about what I was doing tonight and then pray for forgiveness afterwards. For the lying, not the play. But I do have to thank you. All I've wanted since I got to Degrassi was to do this musical. You gave that to me.
Then the bigotry that's attached to her religion. I just love the dedication she has to try to get Adam's attention.
Happy Romeo and Jules is done? Not that you should be happy, although you could be because you're entitled to whatever feelings you want.
I have class.
Have fun! Have fun? I sound like a moron. Adam's a boy. I wouldn't have feelings for him if you weren't.
It also shows how she was moved by him to a point where she sees the world differently.
I know we got off to a shaky start. When you let me sing in the musical, it really opened my mind. Why doesn't Whisper Hug perform at the fundraiser?
Don't make me regret this.
From when she was introduced, we saw a girl willing to sabotage a play because it has two gay leads. She's also trying to convince her bigoted parents to accept her trans boyfriend.
You can't say anything.
No, but I know you, Bex. You're really gonna be happy dating someone that mom and dad will never approve of.
It's a lot for a person in a short amount of time, especially when they were raised so heavily with these beliefs.
Adam is transgender. It means he was born a guy, but he got the wrong parts.
Are you sure he's not just confused?
God doesn't make mistakes. He made Adam exactly who he's meant to be.
So, a girl.
I don't think I can do this.
You're doing great.
It's an internal struggle, especially when your community is all Christian as well. You don't want to lose that community, especially when it's your family. You then start to question yourself and if something is wrong with you. As a way to cope, you see some Christians dig themselves further into their faith. I respect that Becky is able to confront the contradictions that are put in front of her. It's very easy for someone to just ignore and deny. When she finally gathers the courage to tell her parents about Adam, they make it like they're accepting of him.
I care about Adam very much. That's why I wanted to tell you the truth. It doesn't change anything. Adam is a boy. I was worried you wouldn't approve.
Honey, we love you, and we want you to be the happiest girl in the world.
I'm proud of you for telling us the truth. That takes courage.
They even invite him over, but unknowingly to Becky, they want Adam to go to conversion therapy.
I want you to consider reparative therapy.
Dad, how could you?
I'm not gay, sir. I'm a guy.
You're confused. The Lord will lead the way.
I don't need to be repaired.
We want what's best for our daughter.
And that's brainwash camp.
Watch it.
Wait, Adam, I'm sorry. I trusted you.
Imagine you confide in your parents about this, something she's stressed out about, and they betray your trust. On top of that, she feels like she has to choose between her family, her faith, and someone she's attracted to.
Adam makes me happy.
We know you feel that way now, but have you thought about what a future with Adam would be like?
Do you want to have kids? Are you ready to give up your relationship with God?
I would never.
You know what the Bible says about homosexuality.
But Adam's a boy.
Underneath all that armor, she's a girl.
I imagine there's a lot of struggling Christians that feel this pressure to fit the mold of the perfect Christian. She ends up deciding to go to conversion therapy herself because she's convinced herself that something is wrong with her.
I'm going to try the therapy. I can't choose you over my family, my faith.
You don't need to be fixed. You're perfect.
I'm not. I'm confused. You confused me. Therapy could work. I have to try. It's for the best. Sorry, Adam.
After a while, when Becky runs into Adam, she tells him that the therapy isn't working.
It's not working. It doesn't cure feelings. Sitting there every day only reminds me that I like boys, and you're a boy. Between the ears where it matters. And no therapy or prayer will ever change that.
This is a person that has been deconstructing her beliefs and trying to make sense of it. A lot of people never confront this and continue to live an unhappy life. She's also aware of how this might make things worse with her parents, but still has the courage to tell them about her relationship with Adam.
You've come such a long way for me. It's okay if it takes other people longer to come around. I know it's gonna be messy, but we need to try to be together, or we'll never know. Try with me?
I love Adam.
I didn't know you were one for public displays of affection.
I have nothing to be ashamed of.
I really liked this arc for Becky. Since she self-reflects on her behavior and how she hurt others, she also took accountability for her mistakes while struggling with her beliefs as well. She's able to learn and become more open-minded, even though she doesn't understand everything. After she loses Adam, she returns to Degrassi for senior year, still grieving the loss. She partially blames herself because he was hurrying to call her. They were already having some relationship issues before. She lost her boyfriend in such a tragic way, and she'll probably always feel guilty and regret for the words they never got to say to each other.
I guess Jesus wanted him close. I was just looking for an answer.
He died because of you. The reason he went into the van to call you and beg for your forgiveness.
No, it's like he's watching over us. Adam's friends don't like me. Drew hates me.
It's genuinely heartbreaking that they never got to reconcile. Even after that, she still holds on to her faith and honors Adam's memory.
I'm so lost without you. Bye, Adam Torres. I love you.
Adam loved a good party. It's a shame you had to miss it.
He didn't. He's here. I can feel it.
It wasn't your
It
fault.
wasn't anyone's.
How do we move on?
I guess we make Adam's death mean something.
I'm not gonna lie, this episode always gets me. Imogen reassures her that Adam loved her. She isn't as outward with her Christianity as she was when she was first introduced. Becky is also the one that ends up discovering what Luke did to Zoe.
Hey, what are you doing?
Tell me this isn't you. Tell me what I'm seeing isn't real.
She kept on asking us if we thought she was sexy. She wanted to fool around with us. I'm your brother. Whose side are you on?
I haven't decided yet.
I always really like the scene where she walks off with Zoe consoling her.
Stop! You don't need to do this! I prove it was him. I have his phone. There's more videos. Give it to the police.
Thank you so much. I didn't know he was your brother. It's awful.
It's important to get right.
Which is why I do get a little frustrated with how she treated her during tryouts for the cheerleading team.
After everything you've been through, the trial and all,
That has nothing to do with cheerleading.
have you out there representing the school, all your baggage.
Do I need to remind you who's responsible for that? Becky Baker?
But having Zoe Rivas on the squad takes away from the rest of the team. You're a distraction. I'm really sorry.
It's understandable though, since Becky probably didn't want to be reminded of everything, including how evil her brother was. And Becky still has to deal with the aftermath of it all. Her parents are prioritizing Luke, victimizing him. Becky can sense the tension that her parents are angry with her for reporting him.
Can someone please say something? No one talks anymore, especially to me.
Well, it's a trying time for everyone.
I feel trapped here.
Try having an ankle bracelet. I might be going to jail. She's upset about dinner conversation. Get real, Becky.
We should go check on him.
I'm also not shocked that they're prioritizing Luke's feelings over Becky's. They seem traditional and they're also bigoted, so they live in a completely different world where their son can do no wrong. How can her mother see that video and not be disgusted with her son? It's such a shame.
I didn't think I could testify in court today. I'm not sure what I was gonna say.
Just tell the truth. Your brother would never hurt a girl.
With everything she's gone through over the years, losing her boyfriend tragically, discovering what her brother did, I wouldn't blame Becky for questioning her faith. Deconstructing religion can be really difficult because people are brought up in this since childhood. She retreats into online gaming as an act of rebellion, and even tells her mother about this just so she can get some attention from her mother. And even after saying that she feels like her parents don't love her, they still prioritize Luke over her.
I was feeling so unloved. I just needed someone to talk to, someone to pay attention to me. You and Dad act like Luke is the only one going through something.
I feel like it's all my fault.
If we're gonna get through this, we need to stick together. That means you have to stand up for Luke at his trial. We both know he didn't do anything wrong.
During the trial, Luke tries to convince her that Zoe wanted what happened to her.
I told you Zoe wanted to fool around.
Did she say that?
No, but I kind of can just tell.
So, it's no big deal.
Exactly. I'm not gonna be honest.
She ultimately tells the truth on the stand, going against her whole family.
So Zoe could have consented before it was shot.
She didn't. My brother told me this morning. He said that she never said yes.
Knowing that this would irreparably ruin the relationship she has with them, it's very courageous in my opinion. Becky chooses the right thing even at the cost of her relationship with her family.
He didn't have sex with her. And if these lies get printed, it could impact the outcome of his trial.
Are you defending his actions? And how can you support him?
He's my brother. I can't just abandon him, right?
If I don't lie on the stand, my family hates me. And if I do, I hate myself.
Could someone I love do something so terrible?
I felt so sad for her after Luke was convicted. What her mom says to her is just so heartbreaking.
I'm sorry I couldn't lie, but don't worry, we'll get through this as a family, okay?
I'm not sure we will.
Although I disagree with it and don't really like it as a writing choice, I can kind of understand why Becky was attracted to Drew. This was someone that she knew, someone that gave her emotional validation during a vulnerable time.
Trying to understand if there's more to the story.
Even if there was, what would people think if I took Luke's side?
I won't judge anyone for trying to keep their brother around.
After what happened with her brother, not knowing what the future will look like for her family, it makes sense why she was also attracted to someone like Jonah. He represents someone that has made mistakes, turning over a new leaf, and trying to be a better person.
Seems like you're carrying a lot of baggage. That kind of weight can really mess you up. I am he who blessed your transgressions for my own sake.
What is that, some stupid rock song I'm not cool enough to know about?
Isaiah 43:25.
He also represents danger and unpredictability.
Honestly, how can you ever stack up against your Torres? If there's any way you can make the variety show happen, it would mean so much to me because I really, really want it.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
She doesn't know who she is without Faith. After being disappointed so much, it makes sense that she would be going through this identity crisis. She's never been able to be rebellious and go against what's expected of her.
I've always done the right thing, and where's that gotten me? Nowhere.
I thought you said the rules keep you from making mistakes.
Maybe, but apparently they also keep you from all the good stuff too, so screw that.
These preconceived notions that she thought were absolute truth have failed her in some way, so it makes sense why she would want to explore who she is without religion defining her entire identity. Her mother encourages her to go see Luke after he writes a letter to her.
I know your brother's situation's been hard on you. You've handled it so well.
It's me cool as a cucumber.
Wish I could say the same for Luke. He's having a hard time. I know a visit from his sister would really lift his spirits.
You really think he wants to see the person who sent him to prison?
Juvenile detention.
They don't even seem to care about how hard this is for her.
These have been some of the hardest weeks of my life, but I guess that's kind of the point. There's some things I'd like to say to you. It would mean a lot to me if you could come visit. Parents want me to be the bigger person and go see him, but maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want to be the smaller person for once.
So you're just never gonna go visit?
If I go talk to no one's gonna like what I have to say.
She has to be the mature one and go see him. It's like she doesn't even have a right to break down because her parents expect her to shoulder all of this with a smile.
Do you think you'll ever be able to forgive him?
I have no idea.
I just thought you were getting to be okay with everything, with him.
How could I possibly be okay with him, Mom? I wasn't doing anyone any favors pretending everything was fine.
When she finally decides to see him, he says that he doesn't blame her as if it's her fault.
I don't blame you.
For doing the right thing, you mean? And let's try to remember which one of us is in prison here, okay?
I'm trying to repent.
Who gives a crap if you're trying to repent? It doesn't undo what you did. My life sucks now, and it's all your fault. And it doesn't matter what you say or do, it won't make it better.
There's no accountability, no reflection from Luke at all. This guy is going to end up being released and then probably going to commit the same act. I don't usually like to blame the parents for everything because sometimes a parent can do everything right and still their kids end up like this. But in this case, I do blame the parents. Becky isn't convinced by anything Luke has to say, knowing how big of a Christian she is and how much she believes in forgiveness. It really says a lot that her brother repenting means nothing to her. Like I said, I'm not justifying Becky's behavior at all, but it is understandable, and I'm going to cut her some slack when it comes to how she behaved with Zoe or the whole Jonah Drew thing. After she starts dating Jonah, he ends up betraying her trust and stealing money from her for drugs. I just feel bad for her near the end of her time on the show. I'm not saying that Becky is my favorite character, but I think for the short amount of time on the show, I find her struggles compelling. She was also introduced very late on the show, and a lot of longtime fans weren't really watching at this point, so it makes sense why Becky might not have left as much of an impact on people, but I do think there's some depth here worth considering.
Our valedictorian, Connor DeLaurier, off to Caltech for applied physics and aerospace.
From the beginning, we saw that Connor seemed different from the other new characters that were introduced. And when I say different, I don't mean in a bad way. I just mean he behaved atypically to other students around him. He's exceptionally brilliant.
For the dress code, I struggle with picking clothes. And girls have so many varieties of materials and colors. Our app can make getting dressed an equation. Top option A plus bottom option B equals outfit X. And then the user just tells the app how they're feeling, and then it recommends an outfit from articles in the wardrobe.
Connor, let me know if you're looking for investors. I'm proud of you, buddy.
He struggled to communicate like the other students around him.
In a hotel room with Trish. What will you interest do? Do you want me to draw you a picture? Bro, why do you keep following us around? He's a glorified water boy.
We see how Connor has to finish his thoughts.
We need fuel, oxidizer, color chemicals.
What are you doing?
Holds a pallet together and a chlorine donut.
He's explaining fireworks to me.
And this is fairly common for people with autism, since having incomplete thoughts can cause anxiety for some. Routine is also very important, which is why we see that Connor is distressed when someone is sitting in his seat in class.
Is it my seat? Why is it my seat?
Excuse me, is this your birthday?
It is.
Well, you make them better by adding compounds with more oxygen, and you're in my seat. That's our table. Where are we supposed to sit?
Do you mind if we sit here?
Be my guest.
It's not our table.
He wore the same clothes every day.
I'm a freak, okay? Everyone thinks so. Even Mr. Simpson. That's why he keeps taking me for tests. You wear the same thing every day.
But I have other clothes at home.
You think I'm a freak too? Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
We We don't know much about Connor's home life. We just know that Mr. Simpson is his godfather and Connor lives with him so he could attend the gifted program at Degrassi. We don't learn anything about his parents or his relationship to them or if he has siblings. So there is a lot about this character that makes him limited, but we do see that he's unable to pick up on social cues.
Connor was telling me about Pop Rocks and root beer dynamite.
That's been literally disproved.
Not the point. Anyway, so what happens is you get a mouthful of Pop Rocks.
It doesn't work like that.
Let us know when you get to the bottom of the great Pop Rocks debate.
He interprets his relationship with Claire as something more when she clearly likes Casey.
What was Casey doing with that heart?
Sending Claire a rose, ask her to dance.
She should go with me. We're better friends.
Good luck.
Thanks. Look, you, Connor, don't be disgusting.
Casey squeezed Claire's hand.
She's also going to the dance with him.
He isn't able to pick up on the fact that she's really kind of put off by him at the dance.
Aren't we supposed to dance?
Theoretically, yes, but...
Okay.
He also feels betrayed by Claire when he catches her dancing with KC.
Claire! You're my date to the dance. You're supposed to dance with me.
He also has neurosensory issues, which is why he needs a specific lamp on his desk.
Great, Connor found another way to make us look like freaks.
It's supposed to stop the flicker of fluorescent lights from bothering.
This thing's a hazard.
But it stops the light from bothering.
If it's such a serious problem, you must have a doctor's note. No? Well, then try and be a little more normal. What'd you do?
He doesn't know how to control his anger at times, so he ends up yelling and even getting physical with Allie.
I said stop tapping the pencil.
Give me back my pencil! I told her to get out of my way.
Oh, that's a compelling story. I'm sure the chef will be moved to tears.
I'm not apologizing to Allie. I told her to get out of my way.
Connor is also aware that people see and treat him differently.
Connor's a good kid, okay? If we could just wait for the test results.
I'd still expel him. The kid's a loose cannon.
In detention, I don't have to talk to people who think I'm weird. The guys on the team already think I'm like 49% lame-o. Being around you might tip the balance. I thought you were my friend.
He gets in trouble in class and then gets detention, so he has to miss practice. But he doesn't seem bothered by that because he knows that he's not going to be missed at practice.
No, it's just he has basketball practice. Connor should have thought of that. What are you doing? Nobody's gonna miss me at practice.
Although he wants to socially blend in, he also feels like an outsider.
You really know your solar system.
Yeah, well, I got a telescope for my 8th birthday. I stayed up all night searching for extraterrestrial life, hoping they might be like me.
And he understands that with his Asperger's, he'll have a difficult time understanding social cues.
Mr. Simpson told me I'm really smart. Not everyone is interested in what I'm interested in. I have to be careful not to bore people about robots and moths and stuff. So you don't think I'm a freak?
No, I think that you belong in the gifted program at Degrassi.
Mr. Simpson says that my brutal honesty and passion for science are things that girls may not appreciate in high school, but will later on in life.
Because he's very observant and can easily calculate numbers in his head.
So how long have you two been together?
A couple of months.
72 days, 10 dinners, 5 blocks with no predetermined destination, 12 movies, 19 if you include the stay-at-home ones. I don't. Jenna does.
He gets noticed on the team for his own unique strengths. He also knows when to stand up for himself.
Stats. It's in for every game. Blocks, assists, rebounds. Makes the bench less boring. Never mind Finnegan, all right? Play to your strengths.
What's in this binder is pure gold. It's gonna put us over the top.
Make sure Connor stays on the bench.
Shut up, Ethan.
Connor also doesn't get consistent focus like other characters, which is why I think he's often overlooked. The writers might not have had much planned for his character after his Asperger's diagnosis.
Go have sessions with the counselor where he'll learn new techniques on how to deal with social situations.
Like knowing when to apologize. I'm sorry I pushed you.
How does it feel to have Asperger's?
Relieved. To know that it's not my fault that I'm the way that I am. That there are other people just like me. I'm not just some weirdo anymore.
We're all weird. At least you have an excuse.
When Connor starts playing RPGs, he meets an older woman online named Love Queen. She validates him and makes him feel noticed.
The girls at your school must be all over you.
They don't even know I'm alive.
You're too handsome not to notice. They just don't understand you the way I do. You're really mature for your age.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Do you want to come back to my place and we'll test out the expansion pack?
Sure, yeah.
I'm really glad we met.
Me too.
He already feels like an outsider at school and with his own friends.
I bet your friends all think you're the coolest.
My friends, I only have like 2, and they don't even understand me. Cares about me, he thinks I'm interesting, and she takes me seriously. We take you seriously. Yeah, you're too serious.
They don't really understand his hobbies. He also isn't able to pick up on the fact that this woman is a predator. Mr. Simpson finds out about it, and he bans him from using the computer.
Right now, I can't trust you around computers.
I can't do that. What am I supposed to do without my computer? What am I gonna do with this?
In my day, notebooks were our computers. You just give it a try, please. Who knows, you might enjoy it.
But this isn't really the right approach because he takes away his access to the computer without explaining why. Especially since Connor socially doesn't understand what the issue is with talking to this woman. Just changing up his routine and taking away his computer, it just might not be the best way to handle the situation. He isn't going to be able to shield Connor from screens forever, and he should also help him better understand the dangers of the internet. To Connor, he just sees a friend that he's talking to. She's the only one that really seems to understand him, and he can't communicate how different he feels. He ends up talking to her again, inviting her to the school. Once he gets in her car, she starts touching him inappropriately.
All my stuff. There's a routine order. You can't just change something like that for someone with Asperger's. I don't want this. What are you doing? I'm not comfortable.
We'll go back to my place. I can be alone.
I just want to play around with Doom. Stop it!
I'm sorry.
Go away!
I feel that if Mr. Simpson explained in depth the danger of predators, then it's possible that he might not have felt compelled to talk to her again.
You shouldn't have taken away your stuff. I know that kind of change can be disruptive. We overreacted.
So does that mean I can use my computer again?
Yes, but with new guidelines.
You can only play video games with me. Hey, I was a Frogger expert back in the day. Frogger.
Later, when Connor starts having sexual urges, he expresses them in negative ways. One instance shows Connor staring at Hannah's chest.
I'll jot down the results. At another table.
Was it something you said? Girls are still a mystery to me.
Connor doesn't seem to think he did anything wrong. He also doesn't know how to talk to girls, so when he tries flirting with Fiona, it's pretty embarrassing.
Did you know that cheese has 4 types of bacteria?
Hi, Jay. Can we talk about anything?
After stealing one of her underwear at her party, we see that he clearly gets some gratification from this. He might not even fully understand why he behaves this way. He knows that he doesn't understand women on a social or physical level at all.
Like sex? In a park? I hate even thinking about sex. The touching, the textures.
Well, you can't even think about it? Not even with me?
He starts doing this fairly frequently, going into the girls' locker room and stealing their underwear. One of the times he bumps into Allie, he clearly understands what he's doing is wrong.
Got it. Her underwear? No way. It's a practical joke. Every time I see her, I'm going to know she's commando. Do you realize how distracting that is? Let's just go. We have a quiz today. Let's go.
Even if it's on the basis of just understanding that he'll get in trouble. But he doesn't seem to understand why it's wrong that he invaded the privacy of a woman, stole their belongings for sexual gratification. He also needs to understand that you can't treat women in this way, especially since he already doesn't understand his behavior is demeaning to women. After he gets caught, he starts acting like this.
Hey, stop, I promise. Do you have any idea what a crisis you've caused for the school? I'm worried about you, Connor. I've been so busy that I haven't been around lately, so this is partly my fault.
Can I go work on my app now? Can I go work on my app? Can I go work on my app? Let me go work on my app. Okay. I'm sorry I yelled.
Mr. Simpson is scolding him. He understands that Mr. Simpson is disappointed with him and is even blaming himself for Connor's behavior. This is something that Connor doesn't want to confront because he feels guilty for putting Mr. Simpson in this position. He ends up going to an academic behavioral program during a suspension from Degrassi so he can learn healthier ways of dealing with his sexual desires.
I didn't think it would hurt anyone.
You're expressing very normal teen hormones.
So then...
But in an unacceptable manner.
You know, I didn't mean to do anything wrong. You're curious, and yeah, girls are confusing. And that's why I'm looking forward to the program. It'll help me deal better with these situations.
We don't focus on him again until the next school year. See what I mean about the infrequent plot lines? He seems to have gotten some use out of the program he went to.
What's you thinking about trying out? You're a big guy, our defense could use you. At the behavioral program we went to, they taught me ways to mimic neurotypical social behavior to integrate into peer groups better.
Cool. Okay, but it's just football. You only gotta be good at it.
He joins the football team, but Mo, who's the comedian of the group, keeps making jokes that Connor doesn't understand.
I'll do it, dude. I'll cry to make everybody feel really uncomfortable.
Why are they trying to go and cry?
Not. It's just joking around.
Oh, that's funny.
Coach, my key was loose, man.
Yeah. Don't cry.
Yeah, got it, man.
He tries to fit in by pretending to laugh at the jokes, but it ends up going badly for him.
I just laugh because everyone else was laughing. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Connor has a problem.
No, shut up, Casey. My only problem is this guy.
Not thinking a joke is funny, you need to keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying?
Never get what you're saying.
Now you're mocking me?
I'm not.
Mo excludes Connor from the rest of the group after accidentally making a comment about him.
I got starting nose tackle.
Why am I your backup? This is crap.
Your large body mass handicaps your maximum speed by 37%.
Sorry, Conehead, don't speak nerd.
Says you're fat.
Real nice. Are we going or what?
Oh, we're getting wings.
Too bad you're not invited.
Later, he decides to get back at Mo by pretending to be a girl online. Mo decides to meet up with her during a football game. Connor feels bad, but ultimately lets him go when Mo makes another comment. He starts to understand that Mo is the punching bag of the group and sympathizes with Mo more.
Ditching the game for a chick? What an idiot.
Is Emma your friend?
Every team needs a punching bag, Connor.
A few days ago, that was me.
They have a talk where they make amends.
I just wanted to be accepted, but you kept on making fun of me. But I see now that you just wanted to be accepted too. I guess it's good for us. We're both huge losers. And if we become friends, at least we can be losers together.
Awesome. Makes me feel so much better.
I wish that we could have seen more of this friendship. It could have been fun.
I can't believe you hazed me, bro. Guys like us are supposed to have each other's backs.
Yeah, you just made fun of me and hurt my feelings.
You jerked my heart around, man.
Drop the lover's quarrel and focus.
Did you forget all the good times? You flip a switch and erase me from your memory?
Did you ever love me at all?
I like that there are these small steps of social progression that Connor takes. For example, Connor couldn't tell when a girl was trying to get his attention.
On Thursdays, you guys come over and play Risk.
I like Risk.
Obviously, it's the best game ever.
When she asks him to dance, he doesn't know how to respond at first, but he speaks up for himself and answers her honestly.
Do you want to dance?
Me?
Yeah. It's okay if you don't.
No, I do. I want to dance.
There's also this other moment where Connor jokes with KC.
Do you think they're studying chemistry or biology? That's real funny, Connor. Thank you. I've been working on my jokes lately.
He's still a little awkward, but I like seeing these little moments. It shows that he's working on being able to understand his social environment. Connor is also unintentionally funny.
What's wrong with my singing? It's terrible. No, it's awesome. No, it's terrible. Like, really terrible.
Saying things that he doesn't understand should remain private.
Are you sure you'll have time? I mean, you're always visiting that baby of yours.
This is the academic quiz team, and I would like to try out.
You need to be smart.
You're saying I'm not smart?
Yes.
Are we interrupting? Not at all.
We also kissed on the lips. You told me not to stop.
Okay, Connor, that's personal.
We also see more of his sense of humor when he and Adam get annoyed with Claire during a school project.
I don't want to lose my co-op just because you have Asperger's.
Because I have Asperger's? Do you hear yourself?
Delete the tweets.
Delete the tweets. Tweet.
Stop it. I'm begging you.
Stop it. I'm begging you. Tweet. Anything else you'd like to say?
He's in on the joke here instead of being the outsider.
I love working for Asher.
He also stands up to Claire when she weaponizes his disorder.
It happened to illustrating how and why a country joined the Commonwealth.
We wanted to do that, but then Claire told us we couldn't. You were too full of yourself to actually listen
Excuse
to
me
us.
for having loftier ambitions than some pedestrian high school
At
assignment.
least you didn't blame it on my Asperger's.
I apologize for that.
No, you didn't.
Later, Connor gets the wrong idea when Jenna kisses him on the cheek.
Why did you just kiss me?
Just go with it.
And he asks her on a date. He seems to be a lot more confident with girls than before.
I didn't know what recommended gift for girls you prefer, so I'm asking you out.
I can't.
Are you seeing someone else? Do you think I'm attractive? What about now?
You're cute, yes, even with the glasses on.
So there's no reason for you to say no, is there?
I guess not. It's a date.
And even though he's still a little awkward, you do see that he understands social cues a little better.
If I finish processing the simulator on time, we can reach Mars by this afternoon.
Ooh, do you think we'll get to see the Curiosity rover?
I haven't programmed it yet, but wait, how do you know about the Curiosity rover?
I guess you're rubbing off on me. And don't forget, I got into the gifted program too, remember?
But Connor misunderstands when he sees Luke getting touchy with Jenna.
Yeah, this was a huge mistake.
Stay away from my girlfriend! I was protecting you.
By punching someone? The reason I like you is because I didn't think you were that guy. Now I'm not so sure.
I'm sorry.
He interprets that what he did for Jenna was protecting her, since this is probably what he's seen before. He doesn't understand that this violence toward Luke isn't really protection, it's more like possession.
What you did was wrong and can't happen again. Connor, I had more fun on our one date than any other date I've ever been on.
No, thank you. I'd rather lunch.
Open it.
Freeze-dried space food. Cool, thank you.
Yeah, if we're gonna travel the universe together, we'll need snacks. Space dates, city dates, let's do it all.
Connor gets annoyed with Allie interrupting his time with Jenna.
Sometimes when we get going, it can be hard to stop.
Well, if Allie leaves, the conversation will end by default, won't it?
Connor.
Want me to leave?
Yes.
No. J-Rod, text me.
You're my girlfriend.
I know, and I need you. But we need to be there for Allie too.
And doesn't handle it the best way, sending flowers to Eli to pair them up. While navigating his first relationship, there are small social things that Connor starts to learn that makes him better at communicating.
I don't want us to ever get into fights or go on breaks. I like you too much for that.
Who's the third for?
I got us coffees. We're gonna have a gossip session together. I talked to Eli. There are further developments. He wants to know if Claire would take him back.
Tell him to talk to her now.
But will she say yes?
Of course she will.
There isn't much focus on Connor after this. Like with Jenna, both of them get a plotline or two. When Connor and Dallas are racially profiled, we see that Connor doesn't seem to understand what's happening in the situation.
How about you come over here and kiss my black ass?
He could have heard you.
I don't care. We've been stopped 2 times today for nothing. No reason other than our race.
Is that true?
Wake up, Connor. We're being persecuted here.
Which tells me that he hasn't really been exposed to much prejudice, or he might not have picked up on it if he has. It also tells me that Mr. Simpson has never really talked to Connor about race, which is another moment where Connor learns how other people look at him differently. Although he doesn't get many solo plot lines, we do see a progression in Connor's character, learning to communicate better with people around him.
There's so much to think about, and it just seems so uncontrollable.
Look,
And
it scares me too. Made some mistakes in that department, as you know.
right? If you really want to have sex.
I just want to feel close to you. There are many other ways we can feel connected. I can show you.
Even when he makes mistakes, he does learn from them and does work to be better. I find his character interesting from the standpoint of somebody learning better ways to socially understand the world around them. This can be difficult for a lot of people, and sometimes it feels like others don't understand that. His character may be overlooked, but I still think that there are some interesting aspects here. That went on way longer than I intended. What do you think about these characters that I talked about? Are there any characters that you think I missed? If you made it to this part in the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next one.